surprised. I'm so surprised. Y'all been in church 2 hours and you're expecting to see heaven out here, and there ain't no heaven. You're still right here on the, hear the black man's truth. No, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. You've been down on your knees the last 2 hours, haven't you? Begging some God to help you in the hereafter. But the hereafter is right now, brother. The hereafter is here and now.
We a series of amendments and leather African pendants, handguns and incense. Liberation's expensive. Earned by studying love, books and bloods, the crooks and thugs, the capitalists loves. They the enemies of the people because the words written replace where the innocence was. Searching for knowledge to escape what ignorance does. So we earn liberation by rejecting what was.
You got to earn your liberation.
Get wise to the fact that I'm hip to that act. All right. Oh, I can't hear nothing. Jeez.
Oh, my bad. I said you don't know how to put the thing on the thing.
Yeah,
I did. What are you talking about?
You left us backstage. We just chilling backstage and shit, bro.
Wait, what did I do?
You left us backstage. We were just chilling. I had to put us up on the front on stage, man.
Yeah, I don't like to. But if you could put yourself up, why would I do it?
Because you're running the board.
Y'all find something wrong. This morning was flawless. So now y'all making shit up. That was absolutely flawless this morning.
You're right. My bad.
I was on time. I put the thing on the thing. Everything was flawless. So now you're just making problems out of nothing.
My bad. I should have started with love, man. Diallo, you did a good job today. I appreciate the way you showed up on time.
And he showed up on time, man.
Ahead of time.
He was not.
Tell me this, Diallo. You're going to really make my day if you told me you did the homework.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't much, though.
That was a lot. I was sending a nosedive because we're gonna be all up in EYL.
I even produced a clip
yes.
to prove, because I listened to some more of that. It's very short, but it's I just needed to provide an example of how bad this Obama and Gladwell reconstruction thing is, because I did keep listening to it. Just to add to what I know is going to be the already existing Obama discussion.
So listen, y'all got a couple the I don't know candidates for Weekends of the Week. You'll have InvestFest and EYL, the little ones, the little guys. All This Smoke and Obama in them. You got Godfrey. Jerry, I try to watch that thing and I'm like, man, I'm maybe my religious I think when I used to like not care about it, my religious upbringing probably was like, man, I don't really care. I don't think they went to no moon, blah, blah, whatever. But whoever the dude that was there with Godfrey is like, he just like annoyed me. Like he was just saying shit that didn't. And Godfrey backpedal, but yeah. No,
it was a mess. But again, my talking point about that whole thing is that like, what's up? Like, why I got to get treated worse than Professor Dave? Like Dante texted me, I texted Dante, and everything shut down when I said, let me chat with you a little bit about this buying power thing you messed up on. And I don't get invited to the show or I get ghosted. But Dave says, let me correct you on the moon landing, and gets invited to the show. I'm like, what's up with that?
He took down Lord Jamur.
I mean, and then he and Dante became buddies, and I was like, I thought Dante and I had a little rapport, and it disappeared as soon as I said your boy Godfrey is on some black capitalist nonsense.
It was ugly. It was ugly. So Jared's talking about this clip of Godfrey and whoever who is these people? Because all these people is white.
I don't know who they are. I just know that Dante
weirdos, man, weirdos popping up everywhere.
Dante on the end, and it's funny. Paul says that Dante looking like a bodyguard. He said he did bodyguard for Dave. Yeah, he did bodyguard for Dave when Dave was at an event in New York.
And why he needed bodyguard?
I don't know, man. But
Because Dave is a scientist. He's a big time scientist. He's a big guy.
Oh, wow. Watch out, everybody.
well, apparently,
Why does that require guarding of the body?
well, allegedly, he does get a lot of death threats and people doxing his family because he's gone after the right wing, grifters.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
I don't. He
okay.
feels that he
I'm
needs.
gonna play this little clip because it's not much.
I hope, but I don't know if you're gonna play. But I just so people understand why I said what I said. They in this video they acknowledge that that's how this got put together. Dave said I contacted my buddy Dante after I saw them make a mistake about the moon landing on a previous episode, and Dante said, "Come on through."
We can play that part. How
I
about
don't know
that?
what Dave being black folks' business. Everybody said he fight the right wing.
Hey everyone, many of you are familiar with
'Cause
Godfrey
Lord
as the
Jamar-
comedian who
It's Lord
hosts the
Jamar,
podcast
man.
where I
He brought
ruined the
Dave on us.
reputation of Flat Earther Lord Jamar. Well, sometimes we interact under other circumstances as well, and today I have one such occasion for you. Let's check it out. Once again, the first time I went on Godfrey's show, it was to debate Lord Jamar, and most of you know how that turned out. If you don't, watch this video immediately for a good belly laugh or 50. Very soon afterwards, I went back on the show with Godfrey and Dante to have a general conversation about science, which was quite fun and productive. They had lots of great questions. I got a chance to practice my explaining skills in lightning round format, and everyone had a great time. Fast forward to just a couple weeks ago, and I happened to stumble upon an episode Godfrey published called "Did We Really Land on the Moon?"
Vishnu Vaka.
Since I recently published my two-part series exposing Bart Sibrel the charlatan on this very topic, I decided to take a
And that
peek.
series was good,
And
by
of
the
course,
way.
I heard some of the talking points I was quite familiar with being uttered in more of a comedic context than anything else, but it did seem like Godfrey and at least one of his guests were genuinely espousing moon landing denial, while Dante, the lone voice of reason, tried to represent
Mhm.
reality as best he could. Now, Dante and I are well acquainted at this point. He actually acted as my bodyguard during the vaccine debate in New York last September, and we chat from time to time. So I texted him
That
and
debate was
expressed
good,
my
too.
disappointment. We agreed that I should come on the show to talk about moon landing denial, and I'm going to share that conversation with you now. As expected, based on our previous interactions, Godfrey was not combative at all and earnestly listened to the explanations I provided to debunk the talking points they had been discussing in the other episode. Truth be told, he's kind of just always doing comedy, and sometimes he riffs on things that science deniers say to get a laugh. So he wasn't super committed to any of this stuff, and when presented with actual science, he riffed on that for some comedy instead. If only all casual science deniers could be this flexible. At any rate, this ended up being sort of a mix between the flat earth debunking and the episode where I explained a bunch of science, so it was quite productive. Enjoy this conversation now.
Yo, what's up?
And then move into, because I want to demonstrate for you empirically that we definitely went to the moon. Has
Okay.
nothing to do with trusting any government or anything like this.
Yeah.
Because just the general thing that I want to say, because a lot of the rhetoric that I was hearing from you guys and all moon landing deniers, it's not just you, or just generally
Not
a lot
me.
of this attitude. No, not Dante.
Dante.
Not done.
But this thing of like governments have lied is not an argument justifying anything we want to be a lie is a lie, right? And additionally, the angle of like historical disenfranchisement towards Black people is not a reason to engage in pseudoscience, right? The laws of physics or like what vaccines do or what viruses are and like all of these things. This is empirical science that has nothing to do with slavery or cultural history or anything like that. This is independently verifiable scientific facts. So I understand the sentiment.
pause
but
this
it's
real quick.
misplaced when you.
So
He just comes on here to watch what he want to see.
It's Jared stuff, man. Jared had me down this thing. I was like, well, go ahead.
First of all, he is in black folks' business.
Get out there.
Nah, he's in
But
black folks' business.
So I like some of Professor Dave's content, and I did watch these backs and forth, and I do, But my point for bringing it up was only to point out that Dave got invited because he and Dante are now cool to debunk the moon landing deniers, and yet I don't get a follow-up text when I want to debunk the Black capitalist buying power nonsense. So that was my only reason for. I wasn't saying you needed to watch the whole thing or do whatever.
But can I say this?
Go ahead.
Dave's assertions support the status quo by and large.
Yes.
Your assertions contradict and condemn the status quo.
Right. Yes.
So you can't act like, well, I just want to come on and share my truths. You know, some truths are more truthful than other truths. Like, we're all equal, but some are more equal than others. So I don't think, you know,
I can't hit it with my truth. Let me share my truth.
Right.
No, that is a good point. And that's why I'm saying, like, whenever, so I only watch Dave when he does the debunking stuff, because when he does, which again, to your point, is only upholding the norm, the liberal norm.
Right.
But when he gets into politics, his liberalness becomes a little bit too apparent, and I can't. So I just like the debunking stuff. No, so I get it. You're right. But that was really my only. That was my only. I was like, this is. Otherwise, it is only fascinating to me to the extent that I'm interested in car crash type stuff, to watch people who clearly don't know what they're talking about want to debunk entire fields with an S of science. Mm-hmm. And that's it's the wild. And I do watch with a kind of sad amazement at just that, the absence of methodology. I mean, I want to say I should not be surprised, but I sometimes cannot help but be amazed at like you clearly are following flat earther talking points from a video. You don't, the two other guys on the couch is like, man, you're so obviously unstudied in these fields. Why are you so intent on? But the one thing, Lord Jamar, that I think exposed in his own silliness is when he said, I think the line was almost something like, you can't believe in the Bible and not believe in flat earth, because he's right that the Bible says the earth is flat and covered with a dome, a firmament. So that's where the illogic is really, to our other areas of interest. That's where the illogic is being dragged down. Pun intended, I guess, because they hate talking about gravity. But it's moored to a belief in the Bible. And that's why they're like, I don't care what science has to say, because it contradicts not only these other political norms, but it contradicts my Bible.
And I think that even what you touched on, all of these black pseudosciences and black myths come from white folks. The reptilian Illuminati secret society shit. Even the white man is the devil. Go look up Farad Muhammad. So all of this supernatural, otherworldly, pseudoscience, anti-intellectual shit is a byproduct coming that black people go out and get the behold a pale horse, the conspirators hierarchy, that David Icke dude, and they come back and bring that into the hood.
And we'll always talk about I ain't reading no Marx.
Right. So
but they read these ex-CIA agents' books.
Right. So you're just looking at the fallout of anti-intellectualism falls on us. It falls on just like their waste. Like it's what they call it, environmental racism. They put all the pollution in our hoods. So even if you really want to stop that shit, Dave should stick with the whites and talk to the white boys.
He does. For the most part, he does. Again, to be fair, And in fact, when Godfrey in that video when they start trying to make a joke about Dave engaging the black community, he's like, "Hey guys, we don't have to make this about race, you know." And it's because
Khadijah is her name.
But to me, that was more evidence that again he never engages anybody black, because the humor of it was lost on him, and he was like, "Oh no, they're talking about race. I don't want to. That's going to." It was like, I don't want to.
He's colorblind. Is that a science? Isn't that a pseudoscience? Colorblindness.
So
race is a pseudoscience, Diallo. It's not real.
Colorblindness is a pseudoscience.
So two things. When I was watching it, and
we can empirically demonstrate that
What's your guy
race is
name,
not the
Jared?
issue.
The guy who reached out to you?
Huh? What?
I'm asking Jared, what's the guy name that reached
What
out
guy?
to you? The big guy.
Dante Nero, his partner there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm watching it, and Dante, obviously the only one who seems serious to a degree and who has some level of thought. The rest of them is whatever. And I don't know what's his name again? Geoffrey. I don't really know him. Godfrey. I know him like it was like maybe one of those little goofy movies with like white chicks type stuff. I just never really knew. I've never watched.
He was in Southside. He was really good in Southside.
Oh, well, that's where like I
remember the dreadlock intervention scene. Go watch the dreadlock intervention scene.
And he was in Soul Plane, and he's done. I mean, he's been on like black comedy circuits for a long time.
He is corny. Like he's like the interview is like it was horrible. Like even the white boy was kind of like, I'm not here to laugh at you. And Godfrey laughing at his own jokes, and then the guy in the middle, he like that was he just horrible. But I was waiting for somebody, maybe even Dante, to be like to talk more about like NASA, or I didn't think the white boy would like talk about NASA. It's like, yeah, you could talk about the moon, but when you come back to a materialist conversation, like how do you feel about the money or the resources spent to NASA as opposed to something else?
No, his argument is the opposite. His argument is that since the initial moon landings, NASA has been wildly underfunded.
Yeah, you got to keep.
So
going.
he's not.
And privatized. That's
what I'm saying. Politically, that's where once he moves away from debunking the anti-science claims, where I do think he does a good job, and I think he does important work, and I actually appreciate even his aggressiveness at some of these anti-science folks who are all white. Like that's his work. He's always going to, and that's why he gets so many death threats, because he goes at the white right, and they're the ones who are first to talk about. They're the most violent, at least in claim. So, and in action. So he's but his politics are decidedly, maybe he might go as far as Bernie, maybe. But I don't know. That might be a stretch.
That would be interesting. So I mean, I don't have much on that, because the other two.
Hey, y'all be hating on Godfrey. I think Godfrey seemed to be one of the more progressive and stable voices in that arena, the entertainment.
He may be.
Arena. His takes and conclusions. I mean,
his politics
stuff he
are okay.
says about Africans and African Americans, those divides and conflicts, the absurdity of Africans and African Americans.
Geechee just doesn't think he's funny.
Well, wait, what? So
that's subjective.
Wait, maybe. But also, I've seen since clips, and I don't see nothing conscious. Maybe I saw the wrong clips, but he even said.
But Diallo had that important line in that relative to that community, from over that there. World.
Right, for comedians are. I mean, these.
Not in real life.
Drooling and defecating on it. I mean, black comedy is in such trash that the few that can be articulate and sound halfway intelligent.
Well, I don't
understand why Dante and Godfrey platform these imbeciles just to bring on somebody to debunk them. Why are you giving this an opportunity to come on and talk about the moon landing or flat Earth? Why even go there?
What his name is?
Again, I don't understand. That's where I'm saying once people leave their certain lanes, that's where
shut up and make jokes.
Wait. I'm getting hate. Wait. I'm infatuated with these white liberals. Godfrey is trash. Diallo only likes him because he hates it. So I don't know what.
That's a reason to like somebody.
I don't know who Chicken Chow Mein 77
it's like,
is.
Y'all only like mangoes because they taste good. Hey. Yeah, I like you. If you don't like ADOS and FBA, then yeah, that's a good character trait. You trying to hate on me for liking somebody that has a good character trait?
But again, that's sort of my point. Define infatuated. That I acknowledge watching this or that channel from time to time. I don't really know what that means. And how that works within the broader context of my life and work and production, et cetera, and so forth.
And I think you're the number one hater of white liberals and liberalism in general. I think.
Do you know what's funny? Can I tell you? Can I just tell you this real quick? This is very funny. So last night we're at this event at Red Emma's in Baltimore, where I rarely go and have rarely gone. When I would go to Baltimore to a bookstore, it would be everyone's place. Now, I know Chicken Chow Mein understands what I'm saying here, but last night it was interesting because we're at this event for Laura Shiha and her book, which is great, and Orasami Burton was there. And after the event, there was a number of interesting things, but after the event, someone who I hadn't really recognized comes over to me and says, and reintroduces herself as the woman who worked as an editor on my first book, on I Mix What I Like, in which there's a chapter specifically critical of white liberals. And it was a chapter she had at the time advocated me removing. And I said I would not remove it. And she said, well, part of your target audience might be offended. And I would say they're not my target audience. But to her confusion, to be fair, she was working at the time with AK Press. And the only reason I was trying to publish with AK Press was because I saw their books at a lot of the politicized events I would be at. And because Third World Press and Africa World Press had both rejected the book. So I just thought it was an interesting summary, in many ways metaphor.
Is Africa World Press, that's Sababu?
Honestly, I don't remember, and I don't remember who was running it at the time. This is in the mid 2000s, 2010, 11. But they and Third World Press turned it down, and because I was hoping to get a black publisher. And so I went to the white radical publisher, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, but it was just funny to run into her again last night. And she, she turns out to be a co-owner apparently of Red Emma's, and I didn't know that. And she was like, I have, something like, we haven't seen you around. I was like, I don't come here and I don't get invited, like I'm not,
So now you and Jessica Gordon Nimhart could, merge y'all conversation, because that's a successful cooperative, and she helped you with the first book, and so
there it is. So it was interesting. I also learned, by the way, just quickly while I'm talking about this event, I learned one of my new roles is because they didn't have any of my books there. So they had, and I wasn't there for that. I thought it was funny because they announce it, because they have the table set up and they got Laura's book, they got Ori's book, and I don't even mean to put mine in their I don't mean to categorize it as their level of scholarship, but I just thought it was funny. But the host analysis, the poet analysis, which is I think a dope name for an MC, he says, he's like, we got Laura's book in the back, we got Ori's book in the back, we ran out of Jared's book, and which is a funny thing to say because they only had my book because I gave them the leftover copies I had. And then the months that they knew running up to this event that they could have had to use to order copies of the book, since they are a bookstore, they but he had to throw that in there, so I mean, it was just weird. But my new role apparently is that a lot of people came up and they were asking me to sign Laura's book and Ori's book and George Jackson's Blood in My Eye, and I was like, I don't sign sign other people's books. That's weird. I've never done that before.
It's a drawn out autograph is what they want.
Well, but I appreciate but a number of people ended up saying, and I appreciated what they were saying was, well, it's through you that I was introduced to their work. And since they don't have your book here,
that's kind of creepy.
Actually,
no. I think that's actually some really good. Nope. I'm not gonna let you do that.
I should have
think
said this is the best book I never wrote. Thank you.
This is all I'm saying. That's a good method of archiving. Like somewhere in the future, that's a really good.
I get it. I get it. It was just awkward. That's all. It just felt very awkward to sign someone else's book.
You did it. Did you do it?
Of course I did it.
So listen,
I'm not going to disappoint
Diallo.
the people.
Let's
I'm a man of the people.
Diallo, let's help Jared remember who the hell he is, right? So Jared, you are Himothy, as they say in the hood. Like you Himothy, right? So I'm gonna tell you, listen, this is how you Himothy. This is how you Himothy, right? And I don't know if they watching, but peace out. Shout out to the brother who I saw. I went to a vegan restaurant. When they go get a little snack, sitting in there. He was like, "You Geechee?" I was like, "Yeah." And then we start talking. And guess who came? Jared. You know what? Every time I'm out, Jared comes out. So you are him, and you know you him. So when they ask you to sign and document and all of the other stuff, man, they trying to keep your work alive.
It was an honor. You know, it was, but it was just weird. It's never happened before. But the point though is that I just thought it was funny that they had to announce we don't have his book, and I was just like. Yeah.
Well, you were there.
But I don't really, I don't rock in those spaces. That's really, to be fair, and that was just being honest. Like, just to be honest, like and I get it. I'm not mad. But we ended but anyway, in terms of we everything ended well. I had a great time, and we'll see. Maybe I'll end up over there.
Yeah, you see what you're missing out on.
Yeah.
So we can go two places. We can go to a place where. So I think our audience are some of the older people or have older parents, and then you have some of the younger entrepreneurs. We can go to EYL.
Yes, it is. Yes, the fuck it is. I'm sorry, Kiki. Yes, and the fuck it is. That's it. Nothing else. I don't need to know nothing else about you. If I know this, then I know you got some sense about you. Yes, the blood clot it is.
So Jared. We can either go to Jared Ballfest phrasing, or we can go to Barack on All the Smoke, because I've heard you was trying to come to Atlanta for InvestFest, but also I know that Diallo was holding the camera for All the Smoke interview with what's that guy name? Barack. So which one y'all want to go to?
What's that guy's name?
Hey, that man said he ain't gonna say that shit to my face.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. As soon as they snatched that nuclear football from him, he got all the heart in the world.
Talking tough about an 80-year-old who could barely walk.
Hey, I think that's where we should go, man. Listen, so the Barack
and I love how you keep misspelling this man's name, and I don't want you to change it if you did it by accident either.
He's Barack. Look, so he's
still Barry to me. That's what his mama called him. I'm gonna call him Barry.
Y'all wouldn't say that to his face.
I'll call him Barry to his face. Barry.
Listen, name a brother that got more bodies than him.
Oh, that's a good point. You better watch your mouth.
I'm serious.
Hey, no, straight up. Straight up. Who could actually? That's a very good point. What black man walking the earth got more bodies than? Let me put some respect on
not
Mr. President Obama's name.
Seriously,
listen, look.
Name a brother that got more blood on his hands.
That's why I thought it was fascinating. The white boy in Florida said
reckless.
The white boy in Florida said he's not doing tattoos for anybody who is a U.S. military vet or a current member, because y'all are war criminals. And then he said the police, we not doing tattoos for y'all either, because y'all baby killers and y'all kill unarmed people. And there's a frenzy that we might look at in a second. But before we get there, there's a clip here where Obama is on All the Smoke at this center, this big ass center right by Diallo house. And he got a big basketball court in there. So they started hooping. He's like, you took your first shot here. That'd be fucked up if you missed your first shot. And they hooping, and Obama with the left hand, and at the beginning of the interview, Obama sounds like a fucking sports caster. Just like so he I don't know if they're like giving him credibility that he's really a sports person or whatever, but it's just goofy. But then they get to even Steven Jackson seems like he's like, all right, man, let's get to the shit. We don't want to talk basketball. And then they get to it, and then they bring up Trump. And so this is where he gets saucy.
I'm talking about changes in the locker room now and how kids are, some of the younger players, instead of just talking or playing some bidwist or something, everybody just like
talk to your phone
on the
Totally
phone.
different.
The other thing we believe in, and part of what we try to teach in our leadership training is, I believe in face-to-face.
Mhm.
I believe in conversation.
Why don't you do that with Gaddafi?
If this was in front of me, which has happened a couple times, he don't talk like that because he knows better.
It ain't never that.
And I think there is that filter of the phone creates a situation both where people just say kind of crazy stuff that they would never say
with no consequences
to your face with no
Yeah.
consequences.
Yeah.
And the flip side of it
That's
is
what
we
it
told
is.
our daughters
Tell
when they
I'm
were young
outside.
and the phones were first coming out, we said, why would you invite thousands of strangers who know nothing about you, who care nothing about you? Why would you entertain their opinions?
Don't matter.
Why would you
He's
put
sitting there with
something
two
up
ball
there
chasers.
and
Oh, he's
ask
in the court.
them
Wow, that's the
to
best
comment
ball
on
court?
how I look?
That
or
court is
comment
big.
on- Why
Oh,
would you do
shit.
that?
Giving them ammo. Yep.
I mean, that makes no sense.
I have to
Yeah.
review my
So,
position
First
on
one
the
to the
Obama
same,
Center.
the 2004.
So he talks about how he one time before a big speech or whatever, he was hooping it up with his guys and somebody hit him in the face and he had a little cut and you can kind of see it on the camera because he's a hooper. And he talked about his, his little lifestyle or whatever. But first thing I thought was like, I wonder who is controlling or who gets to like the final say on what's get public. Because you can see there's edits and it's an interview. So they have
Obama. There's no question. He absolutely has final edit, final cut. So you don't have to. I would defy anyone to prove that wrong. I can. Yeah.
But I think you're correct because so all this smoke is not. I don't know if they're on like a major platform like iHeart. I don't think they got a deal. I think they have their own independent show. They post it on YouTube or whatever. I don't know, but on their page, you can see that Obama Foundation is their collab post. So Obama Foundation and Barack Obama, and then all the smoke. So two different Barack institutions are on here. So two different things, and it's at the space. And you remember now, they all don't know this weird. They all passing each other around, right? So you have like Dave going interview this person. Dave interviewed Michelle and her brother on their little podcast, and then they was like, well, they interviewed Michelle on all this smoke, and then they've been trying to get an interview with Obama. So when you look at the comments, everybody's like, yeah, finally, we got him on. So I can't even really tell who is using who. I guess maybe they both using each other. They're
definitely using each other. He's and Obama is in solidifying his place in his post-president life. He's using them to position himself the way he did when he was running for office, talking to black people, and he puts on his little black affect, and he starts talking shit like this is normal for him. I don't believe for a second he knows how to play bid whist, and I don't believe for a second he's ever stood in front of another man with it and had to defend himself. I just don't believe it. So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
What's true is what he said about Trump is absolutely true, though.
Sure.
Trump is a bully. Trump is a coward. Trump, you saw what he did with Mondani. Go from calling him a communist, an anti-American, and a terrorist, and then when he was standing shoulder to shoulder with him in the Oval Office, he was glazing him. And then soon as he got out, those crazy communists, crazy liberals. So yes, that's how cowards behave. But is that not how Obama also behaved?
I mean, that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
When
he-
did so
I mean,
like all the 8 years that he was in office, and all those Republicans were talking trash in Congress and the Senate and on Fox News. When did he ever step to somebody? Like, what
it
is
was
he
his
talking about?
obligation to uphold the dignity of the
Of
office.
course.
An
So,
office
but-
occupied by slavers, by mass incarcerators, war criminals, pedophiles. He had to uphold the dignity of the
The
office.
dignity.
But he said, what did he say to this man's face when they were face to face?
That's the best point. Yes.
Because he's like,
Absolutely.
yo, I'm a he wouldn't talk all reckless in my face. He wouldn't call Michelle Obama a man to my face, which I agree.
No, he would have you believe, Diallo, that as soon as this photo was taken, he was like, let me tell you something,
Right.
bitch ass motherfucker.
Exactly.
We got bombs for your punk ass.
It's
while
a-
he's smacking the bit with
it's a case of the pot calling the kettle orange, because he's dropping. You can't shoot bombs from a glass bunker. I don't know.
that Key and Peele sketch where what's his name plays Mad Obama and
I used to hate those. All those were so whack.
But my point is, I think Obama, but I think they believe that to us, or they believe the performance effect of it to a certain extent, and that's because again, I'm not suggesting that while president he should have been going and swinging on Fox News hosts and all this other kinds of, which would have been hilarious. But I am saying that he knows, as you are saying here, that Trump, of course, is doing that. Of course, they all do this. Everybody talks trash to each other, and nobody does anything. So why would he expect anything to be different? Why, what is he? And to your point,
listen,
he
that
went
man
and shook
be
hands
like-
with everybody.
That man let
that,
Bush.
you know.
That man let Bush feed his wife candy, bro, and do little
Wow.
tickle to the hands, man.
That's crazy.
But she was twerking. I mean, she was twerking on
wow.
George Bush Sr.'s wheelchair.
Wow.
Look, bro, I ain't know what y'all be talking about, man.
Huh?
I don't know what y'all be talking about, but listen. Now,
Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
And she all up on the war criminal mass incarcerating crack dealers.
man, you about to pull something up? Because I saw you about to pull something up. If
I'm
not,
about to pull, if I must, I don't want to listen.
pull
I
it
don't
up.
lie on people. I don't say nothing about nobody that I don't know.
You're not saying it to us.
I do make shit up about people. But he got all up in this. Look at Obama. Can't even look at her. Obama
Can't even look.
See, this is
Weakest of the week
Obama, 'cause
already.
If nobody did some shit like that, I couldn't look at it. I'd be
Ooh.
like, Obama was like this. I know he had words for her on the
Ooh.
limo ride back to the bunker.
Oh my goodness.
Look at Obama.
Great.
Turn his back on her.
Can't even look.
Hey,
Look at
man.
that shit. So yeah, I think Michelle, she is a woman. She's a biological woman. Beautiful skin. Her hair is always on fleek. Do they still say, can hair still be on fleek or no?
Nah. Beat.
But
You gotta
I think this woman has a fetish for war criminals. And I don't want to kink shame Michelle. But I think she has a fetish for war criminals.
Oh man.
Man.
So the thing is, though, we can say all we want to say. The majority of people are probably in this crowd. Great show, great interview with the best. You brothers have come up. Like these podcast guys made it. Stephen A. No, I'm sorry, Stephen. My bad. I didn't mean to call you Stephen A. Smith, but Stephen Jackson and oh boy, they're coming up, and they might even be looking like a independent podcast group. Like, hopefully, Nard don't buy them out and bring them to iHeartRadio. I don't know what's gonna go on with their little contract, but majority of people are celebrating such a
But there's some hateration in the comments.
I couldn't find it.
Go up a little.
I did find one of them. I got to go back and find it. Where?
right there. Your Obama goggles. Take off your Obama goggles.
Mm.
Obama the Great Divider. Yuppie buddy.
Well, someone who hates the Great Divider, that sounds like coming from
sounds-
the right wing.
Yeah, that sounds like
It's
some
still
right-
hateration. You were like, I can't see no flaw in this man. I'm telling you that there is some, I'm just saying, take off your Obama goggles. There's some hate in the comments.
Oh, damn.
No, they love it. They
So-
love it.
So in the interview, he talked about, and I texted this a little bit. He talked about the gym was placed on the road or the street, a highway or whatever, that he used to organize and whatever. But can you share a little bit, Diallo, about the conversation around gentrification and then the people
Well,
that
that was the first time I had an opportunity to be in the same room with Obama. And I left before he came out. Number one, because he came out hours late. He was on some Lauryn Hill shit. So it was basically when they had determined where they were going to set up the location, but before they had the groundbreaking ceremony, he had a community engagement. And since, I qualified as the community being on the South Side, I live in Bronzeville. He's over in Hyde Park, which is adjacent to Bronzeville, and Bronzeville, you can enjoy, if you live in a certain area of Bronzeville, you can enjoy all the Hyde Park amenities without paying the Hyde Park price. But I digress. We went there, and there was this scale model of the Obama Center. Beautiful, weird looking. It's actually a weird structure. I ain't gonna lie. I think I got my Obama. That building is ugly, it's weird, the layout, but that basketball court is hot fire. Anyway, he was coming to talk to the people about the community, about our concerns about displacement and gentrification. How the Obama Center would, number one, he was destroying an already established community gathering area. That was already an established park. You had the Japanese garden. It was just off the grounds of the Museum of Science and Engineering. And you had the university campus to the north. And then you had established Black communities, a Black boat club, all this wonderful shit in that area. So it was already a beautiful established area. And Obama looked like he was just going to come push everything aside and make his area. And people were stating their concerns: rising property taxes, rising rent, higher standards for rental, more scrutiny for potential renters, displacement of public and low income housing, all the same shit we've been hooping and hollering around this country for decades. And Obama said, trust me, I'm Obama. I'm your guy. So I give you my word. And they were like, that's wonderful, Obama. Can you sign some guarantees? Can you put on paper
community benefits agreement
guarantees about taxes, rental, displacement, affordable housing? Can you put, and even set aside for Black businesses, Black contractors, put it all on paper, write it out? And he said, no, my word should be good enough. I think my track record in this community and my word is law. My word is my bond. So y'all could just, go home and rest comfortably knowing that the Obama Center will not come and take over, but it will become an integral part of the community and all boats will rise. A high tide lifts all boats. And that was basically it. But I bounced. I was there for the opening ceremony, but he was like an hour late and the traffic was terrible, because they always shut down all the traffic when Obama rolled through town. And I'm talking reckless about this gangster.
So
but what he said is, what Diallo just said is perfect for my little contribution to this. Whenever in a minute, yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you questions and see if you can tie in your contribution. So in this article, this person is writing about it. And obviously, I think they looking at the YouTube video and they looking at all the comments, and then they're building their analysis or their whatever off of that. But they say our current president is much less willing to enlighten, encourage, and galvanize people in times of need. His way, or the highway style of governing, has caused more divide in this country, one that has never been fully healed from the devastation effects of slavery, systematic oppression, and the systematic destruction of Black families throughout history. There was one point where they were saying how like Obama is providing hope, or there's other things like, oh, I missed Obama. I missed those days. I missed there's a lot of these conversations. I mean, again, it might happen in y'all personal family or whatever, but Jared, what do you think is happening right now? I guess from a media analysis, what is happening? What is Obama? I don't know if the Democratic Party is using him to do something, or is this what he's doing now that he's out. But what would you say is happening in this clip, or what is?
Let me just add to what you just shared there, because I found just a similar story here in the Hill. Thanks, Obama. Reflections on a library and a presidency. This is this is exactly what they're doing. The one part I'll read is, throughout his 8 years in office, I continually marveled at the way Obama reminded Americans that our collective national interests far outweigh selfish individual pursuits. He understood that concepts such as habeas corpus, freedom of the press, and the peaceful transfer of power were not abstract ideas or random thoughts, but part of the very fabric that protects this ongoing experiment we call democracy. This shit is an SNL sketch level of absurdity. Habeas corpus, the president that signed an NDA, one New Year's Eve, that got rid of habeas corpus. We don't have
just
it.
For the terrorists. Just for the terrorists.
If you are deemed a terrorist,
you had nothing to fear.
Exactly. So all right. So to your point, and then I'll, before I fully endeavor an answer here, let me just play this 1 minute clip I made from his Malcolm Gladwell audio. So just trigger warning and all the warnings. It is 1 minute and 13 seconds of abuse, but just check this out.
Overstate what a massive change this marked in the life of the United States, or what a massive job these newly elected black office holders had in front of them. After the Civil War, the South needed to be reimagined. It needed to become, for the first time really, a democratic society. Everything needed to be rethought. And when I spoke with President Barack Obama, he wanted to talk about perhaps the biggest priority for many new black officials: schools.
One of the things I love when you read about Reconstruction is how much black folks understood literacy and education as integrally tied to freedom. The degree to which they thought our number one project here is let's start a bunch of schools to make sure that our people have a chance to learn how to read and write.
That's the one thing that the white majority couldn't constrain.
Learning.
Yeah. Can't block that.
We can lock this in our heads, and they understood that, but it also influences generally this notion that then carries over to the broader society of public education, that citizenship, equality, power, all of that is tied to our ability to understand and communicate and analyze the societies that we're in. That's what gives us agency, and that's what gives us power.
My name is Malcolm Gladwell, and this is Reconstruction, the Unfinished Promise.
That's
all right.
Wow, that he gets
anticlimactic. What? I was taking notes.
My point in that clip alone, in that clip alone, you get what I think he is here to do, what his presidency was for. Never mind the personal enrichment and all of that. The reason he's supported and lofted and platformed and he was at the time the most heavily Wall Street supported candidate in presidential history. The reason for all of this, the Netflix deals and all of this, is the setting of political limits and the suppression of even our political imagination. And I won't try to do it here right now off the cuff because I'm not prepared. I was just reading, because of the Laura Shihad discussion, some of the recently released Fanon papers on, his notes from his psychoanalysis, where he's actually talking again more in depth, using the cases of Algerian women, the suppression of the imagination that colonialism puts on the colonized. And that's what I think he's here to do. He is what Laura calls a psychic intrusion. He is here to intervene, to say, yes, you may be mad at the world under Trump. It's maybe looking bad right now, but when you pick your head up and re-engage politically, this is as far left as I want you to go. And I want you to remember that America is great. So, and if you listen in that, so even in that clip, and I think I'm being fair here to the whole thing, but in that clip you hear he's saying, look at what Reconstruction demonstrates, that a certain class of Negroes, those who are financially and otherwise literate, those who endeavor to get the proper education, can thrive, as if illiteracy and lack of education was the reason for enslavement and colonization and abuse. It's a subtle, vicious undermining of our political imagination. And there's more that I can talk about that he doesn't hear, but yeah, go ahead. I'll stop there. Go ahead.
So tell me this, and we're gonna get into saying a farewell to Tony Brown. And I am much younger. Obviously, I wasn't around where I was, but public TV and the utility of public TV. But like, Obama would have had to come to see Tony Brown. If Obama was around them, he would have had to come see him, and Tony Brown would have been able to. And I don't know if we have that level of. I don't know if it's.
I don't think Tony Brown would have been a problem for him. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I just disagree, because Obama was very effective in 2008 in drawing a distinction between the old blacks and the new blacks. You know, the old blacks who were bogged down into this civil rights way of thinking and didn't accept at time and has moved on, and things have changed. So Obama was quite effective in dismissing or downplaying the established voices from Tony Brown's generation, that people from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So I think he did and could effectively ignore the established scholars, the established critics, the established activists from Chicago and across the Black world.
I think that wasn't where I was going initially, but I think you make a really good point. And I think one thing that we have to remember is that by the time what helped Obama's success, and for those who aren't aware, just in case you know, the handful might not have been around or whatever, like Tony Brown, I think for my generation for sure played a vital role in some level of political education. I don't think he was. My thought was going to be that he wouldn't have been a problem for Obama, because he had a whole black excellence, black capitalist streak in him. He had a whole.
But
like he used to make radical
voices.
He did.
And he also, like, for instance, that shit wouldn't have fly. What he said just now, shit wouldn't have fly in front of Tony.
But that's the point I was going to get to, is that by the time Obama, we have to be clear in this, and this is why I can't stand the Peniel Josephs and these others that want to run this lane for Obama. Obama could not have done what he did until that wing of scholars, that generation were replaced by the Michael Eric Dysons and the Cornel Wests, who were all telling us, you got to vote for Obama. So like that level, all of the scholarship that the radicals that, yes, Tony Brown would have invited on and did invite on, they were all marginalized, removed, or dead by the time Obama gets on the scene. And then the only ones left are like the Glenn Fords and the Bruce Dixons and the Margaret Kimberleys, and they don't get, nobody gives a shit about them in the way that that Tony Brown would have mattered at the time. So I think that I just think it's important we remember that.
Do you think that happens because of the organized Democratic Party or the disorganized us? When you said those Glenn Fords and all these people,
the dialectic is necessary here. One doesn't happen without the other. There is no increased, improved Democratic Party without the devolution of black radical organizing. You have to get rid. That's again how Obama did what he did with the Democratic Party. And that's why in this new Ta-Nehisi Coates article, in this discussion where he's again falsely allowing the intellectual and symbolic claim that Kamala Harris is an extension of Fannie Lou Hamer. That's how the Democratic Party gets away with it, by replacing a certain class or politics of Black intellectualism with these folks who are very talented, well-written, well-spoken distillers of the Black experience for the Democratic Party. And that's why that's how they do it. And if I can, just real quick, man, I'm not going to play anything. I just want I just want to explain this just very quickly. There's a discussion in that Reconstruction thing where they start talking about, and you talk about being in the rooms, like these are people I used to be in conference rooms around. Professor Farrah, Jasmine Griffin, who wrote a book about the lives of Addie Brown and Rebecca Primus, told through their loving letters. That is the letters of one Black woman to another Black woman in the post-Reconstruction era, talking about their lives and their love for one another. Although again, you're only getting one. It's only one direction because they only have the set of letters going from one to the other. But the subtle thing that they do in there is, because I started asking myself, why are they spending so much time to talk about this relatively underknown and unfortunately underappreciated story? I'm not denying its importance or interest, but why are they focused on this? Of all the things you could be talking about in a relatively limited series about Reconstruction and race, why are they focused on this? One, because I think that they do want to promote a liberal version of the LGBTQ story, and this is apparently a love story between two women. But more importantly, there's this class element where one has a class position over the other. And they're talking about this in terms of the trickle-down economics that you were just talking about, that Obama actually supported when he was in office with another label. That this idea that even after, what the moment of Reconstruction showed was that, yes, even Black women, even gay Black women can elevate at least one to a certain class position. And I think, again, make this point that if you focus on business and literacy and a good liberal approach, even to your unsanctioned love interests, this country's potential is limitless. And once we get past, they don't say this, but this is, I think, implicit, is once we get past this moment of Trump and can get back on the Democratic Party track, will all be good. So I just thought it's subtle, it's stylish and well produced and slick, and even in terms of that story, very interesting. I think that story with the letters and all that is interesting, but it's so scandalously undermining of anything that might lead us to some other kind of radical political effort.
So,
yeah, but
go ahead.
I wouldn't get too bent out of shape because, the United States, academia and popular history is a master at rehabilitating genociders, enslavers, and war criminals. I mean, so I think it's to be expected. I know Obama is a fresh and open wound, but I mean, didn't the vice president just get up and say that Richard Nixon was a victim and poor Richard Nixon was hounded when he was and that it was a much ado about nothing? There's that movie which really disgusts me. Young Washington is coming out.
Oh, wow. And
it's this, literally, it plays like, what's that other fake historical movie with Mel Gibson? The Patriot.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one too, the one over there
with the happy slave ready to fight with him.
Yeah. And so the United States, I mean, so I think it would be racist if Obama wasn't rewritten, if they didn't try to rebrand Obama as a unifier and a concerned man and a level-headed and level-headed man of peace and integrity. It would be racist if they didn't rehab, because I mean, by the time George Bush is just a water painter and his father is just a daughter. And I promise you, before long, Trump will be a comedic, wholesome figure that we look back at and laugh. And he was just a funny guy who, unlikely man in an unlikely office. Is kind of like, what's that show? That doting show, like Great American Hero. Like he stumbled into a position he shouldn't have been in, but he did the best he could. They're going to rewrite the history of Trump right now. They're already doing that right now. And the liberals will fully embrace that rebranding, just like Michelle Obama will embrace the architect of the crack pandemic, George W. Bush. And so it would be racist if Obama, as the only black president, was not rewritten as in the history. If they could do it for George, if they can do it for Woodrow Wilson,
do it for the black one too.
So you're saying it's a PR, or is it a strategic way?
No, it's not PR. It's necessary for the entire American psyche. The United States, the monuments, the currency, the holidays are all centered around genociders, pedophiles, war criminals. So it is crucial that the average U.S. citizen does not know the truth about the United States past, present, and trajectory into the future. It is very important. The nation on the hill, greatest country, richest country, powerful country, brave country, democratic country, all these shit we are pounded into our heads every day of our lives from birth. It is crucial. The United States cannot stand without its founding myths. So as we are all disgusted, because we know better that Obama's getting a rebrand, it's not special or unique for Obama. And it would be racist if he didn't get a rebrand. And you can resent the rebrand with still acknowledging he deserves it as much as the rest of them.
That's a fair point. He deserves it. Let's not deny him his just due. That's right.
And in 2 to 3 more years, Trump's rebrand is going to be on deck, full force, algorithmic, journalistic, historical.
I don't think they're gonna rebrand him. I think they will gleefully throw him into the ash can. I don't think
who
the people in power. I don't think
Trump.
Yeah, I don't think he don't get a rebrand in president.
Oh,
like not like that.
Oh.
But so.
Oh, bless your heart, Geechee.
I'm just saying.
Bless your heart. Just I wish I could see the world through your bright
Geechee colored glasses.
I don't see it.
Listen, George Bush. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, the pedophile Thomas Jefferson. If they could rehab these men, these Woodrow Wilson, the first scholarly.
Do you think Michelle Obama will kiss Trump on the?
If he lives long enough, hold on, Trump. Yes, you can. Just go out and buy your butterscotch hard candies right now.
I think they got better writers. Do you want?
If Trump lives long enough,
they got better writers. They got better writers.
Trump lives long enough.
These white people got better writers than the type of
Trump entertainment. You don't remember Bush? What was you? What were you in the 3rd, 2nd grade when Bush was elected?
I remember.
You don't remember the Bush administration?
I remember.
And I believe because back then, before I was hardened, before America ripped my heart out, I would have said, would no black woman ever be hand-fed butterscotch candy?
Yeah, you gotta watch better movies.
George Bush. You don't know how hated George Bush was. In fact, George Bush was so hated.
Not like
at the end
Trump.
of his presidency,
not like
white
Jared.
racists were voting for a black man.
Jared.
No, don't say Jared, because I'm going back even farther. People are now talking. Look, people. Yeah, people are even they're. My point is, I might say it a little bit differently, that Trump isn't going to get he might not get a rebrand in the way that George Washington got a rebrand, but he'll get a rebrand in a way that allows for people committing whatever the current horrors are is supposed to be justifiable and excusable. So he'll become the way, Stalin has become in the minds of liberals. They'll just throw his name against the wall with others who have committed atrocities, just so they can say whoever's currently in some form of leadership is not that.
Liberals don't do that with George Bush. Liberals are inviting George Bush to the cookout.
And you know, Kamala inviting and getting Dick Cheney's support
Right.
is
Exactly.
not that far from what
You don't
Diallo's
think, man,
talking
you
about.
underestimate the power of
And people hated Dick
gullibility of
Cheney.
the masses
Yeah.
and
I think we forget about the
effectiveness of
rebrand
the
to what
propaganda
audience too.
apparatus. Huh?
I think we forget about the rebrand to what audience too, because the rebranding that Obama will be getting, will it be more geared towards black folks, or do you think it will be geared towards white folks? Like white folks probably I don't think they don't need the rebranding, right?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yeah.
Maybe if they're going to try to run
the
Kamala.
majority of the propaganda in this country is aimed at white folks. We're an afterthought at this juncture.
Bro,
White
I can't
people are
listen.
white
Maybe
people are-
I'm just around too many black
listen,
people.
White
I can't
people are
see
the most heavily
white people with their
indoctrinated
profile
demographic in this
Obamas.
country.
I don't see
No,
white
I
people.
think
White people,
there's-
white people
I
are
think
not
there's-
putting Obama next to their favorite white person in the world. You see Obama and Osada. You're not gonna see Obama and I don't know what's a
Kennedy.
white.
Last time you've been over
When-
white folks? When the last time you've been over to the white part of town?
I don't know, but even if I go, I'm not gonna see no.
That
damn
is a good
Obama
question.
Kennedy.
I haven't, like, I'm not aware, despite what Chicken Chow Mein said of my infatuation. I'm not aware of white households predilections at this point. So
Let me tell you something.
are
When
there
I
any
walk
white
around
folks
Chicago,
that have an
let me tell you
Obama
something.
picture in their living room?
You about to prove my point. You about to prove my
I'm
point
about
right
to
now.
tell you this right now.
prove my point.
Listen, white folks in this city keep all the good shit on their side of town. The vegan donuts, the oat milk lattes. So I have to go over there to get some of the finer things, to enjoy some of the finer things. I be on white folks' side of town,
Okay,
right?
now tell me.
And can I tell you what they have on their bumper stickers and in their windows?
And you know why?
I see more
Context.
Obama.
Context.
Let me say,
Where was
okay,
Obama organizer at? Where was
don't
Obama
know.
organizer at? In what?
He wasn't an organizer nowhere. That's another myth. Bless your
Listen,
heart. Geeche's a victim.
Listen, you can't.
Geechee, I'm not
Diallo,
mad at you. I'm
you
mad
can't
at whoever
judge your
did
white
this to
people. You can't judge these
Geechee's
white
like,
people
yeah,
off of
Obama was a community
Chicago white
organizer
people.
on the south side of Chicago.
Chicago white
Gang,
people don't
gang,
count.
Gang, gang. They didn't
Chicago
let
white people
Obama
don't count.
through the door. They don't let Obama through. You hear regurgitating Obama rhetoric to me. You have fell for the Obama rebound.
Listen.
See, hey, Obama was a community organizer in the hood. That's a lie, man. Next
You
time
just
you
said-
come to
you-
Chicago,
you-
I'm gonna take you to his house.
Diallo, you just said the white people love Obama in
I'm
Chicago,
gonna take you
right?
to his house around the corner
Diallo,
from Farrakhan.
you just said
and
the
you'll
white
see
people
where
in
this
Chicago
community
love it.
organizer is living, and then I'm
Oh
gonna take
my
you
God.
to some actual community organizing. And you look at
Diallo.
his mansion and the real community organizer's mansion, and tell me the disconnect.
Diallo, you just said that white people in Chicago love Obama, correct? Correct?
No, that's not what I said. What I said was white people are more susceptible and more targeted for the presidential rebrand than the black masses are.
They don't
White
need to be, is
people
what I'm
believe
saying.
the rhetoric. So there are a lot of white liberals.
Chicago
who
white
hated
people
George
need that.
Bush.
The
Let
rest
me
of the
ask you a
world, the
question.
rest
Let
of
me
the
give a
US,
full
white people-
answer. Lord have his mercy.
I already got the
I'm not
answer.
gonna-
I already got the
I'm
answer.
not going to spend all the show digging the crust out of your eyes. If you want to have a obscured and distorted vision of the facts, I'm going to let you live with it.
All I'm trying to tell you is white people in Chicago probably needs to be Obama need to be rebranded to them. I don't think white people all across the US are in love with Obama.
I didn't
way
say
black-
that.
the
Did
way
I say that? Did I
that's-
say that?
You not listen to my argument. You're right.
Well, you're going to distort what I said, but go ahead, man. Go
All
ahead.
right. Listen,
That's why white people won't let you come hang with them. You don't know how to listen.
I don't really want to hang with them niggas.
Yeah, you just saying that because they want you just saying that.
Unless I go to the Whole Foods and get some water and stuff.
They got some of the
But
best
matter of
lattes
fact,
over
I'm
in
gonna
the
go see
white
them. I'm
folks'
gonna go see them
neighborhood.
today. I'm about to go to Whole Foods in a second, and I'm gonna go see them today. So shout out to the white people when I see y'all. So
And you lying. I was hanging with you in Atlanta, and everywhere you took me in Atlanta,
that's a
I
lie.
didn't see no other black. I had to look across the table.
We
and
went to
see another
Sealy's
black
first.
person.
We went to Sealy's first, and the line was too
Taking
long.
me to
We was
all
there.
these gentrified,
Whatever, man.
affluent areas.
Anyway, don't take away
That
from
vegan
Tony Brown's.
restaurant, that one
Tony Brown's
restaurant where
shine.
you were there ordering all that fancy beer, that artisanal beer. You wasn't buying that from the corner of the store.
Diallo,
So,
you want to be honest? What the hotel y'all was staying at? Where was that at? Because that was so bougie as hell. And we walked to a coffee.
In Atlanta?
When y'all came to Atlanta, we walked to
every time we entered
that was
that hotel, we had to run a gauntlet of drug dealers, pimps, and homeless people. What are you talking about? We were in downtown in the trenches. We were staying in the trenches in Atlanta.
All right, man.
That's why you asked every time we had to. I'm not gonna expose you on here.
Hey, Jared, can we give some flowers to Tony Brown and
Ordering
some
beers that had like.
Listen, man. Listen.
The
I went back and watched. I went back and watched some Tony Brown's interviews, and there's some favorite ones I had, especially one with he was interviewing a whole gamut of people from the right wing to the left, and it ended with Fannie Lou Hamer as she was getting older, and he was a moderator of that. He had callers, like the journal was dope, right? And then I was like looking through some other stuff when I was trying to look for the full interview with Bill Cosby. I felt like he was softballing whatever these questions, and it was like a 3-minute clip on his YouTube thing, but I can't find a full interview of Tony Brown. Maybe it's in somebody's archives. But I did go to our favorite white boy, I guess public television, because he even says this is your public television, Donahue. And there's the Sister Soldier, Dhoruba with his locks, and Tony is in there, and then you got your Cornel West, and I wanted to play. So Dhoruba and all of them was on the panel with the white, the first black. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call her that, but she act that way. The first black DC mayor, she was on there, and then Alan Keyes keep cutting off Sister Soldier, and Dhoruba called that out, right? But Cornel West, Tony Brown, and other person, I don't remember his name. He was all right. They all had an essay, a journalistic essay that they had to present, and this is Tony's one. I want to play a little bit of it, and then we can get into. Oh damn! I didn't pull up. We can get into.
It was a different time, just as you get that. I mean, that's part what Brown I think did well to take advantage of. It was a different time in media where you would have not only like somebody like Donahue would they literally kicked him off MSNBC when he had the highest rated show on their network. But you wouldn't see that, and you wouldn't see someone of that stature, so to speak, having these forms of discussions, even as limited as they were. So, but this was a different time, man. I used to think this was kind of normal.
Yeah. Second of our 3 essays. Here is Tony Brown making the case for Black self-reliance.
Tony did have a bunch of liberal causes in there.
I got some. Yeah.
Tony Brown. But y'all gotta put it in the proper historical context.
The message that I give today, self-help, basically. Love yourself. Be proud of who you are.
What'd you say?
You got to put this in the proper context, though.
Mm-hmm.
We have a half century of history and experience that these people didn't have when they were taking the positions that they take. I think they should be criticized, but I think we should, keep it in context.
Okay, yeah. And,
I'll look. So that said, by the time this was happening, there was also an equally long tradition of being critical of these positions that was well known too. So
true, yeah, okay.
And Dhoruba was being critical in this panel.
That wasn't brand. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So let me keep playing a little bit of this, and then I want to skip to the end. And if there was any parts of the clip that y'all wanted to talk about, if you remember the interview, I want to skip to the end where they do a round circle of the question, and they ask each panelist, Dhoruba and everybody, and even Tony.
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to do this, but I want to play this real quick.
You are. Mm-hmm. And any proud person will be productive. That's the basic fundamental theme.
If there was ever a time when America needed to
stop and reconsider itself, it is now. And I would like to say to those of us who are of African descent that nobody can do for us what we refuse to do for ourselves. I was born and raised in Charleston, West Virginia during the era of segregation. But we were not raised the way poor people in that status today would be raised, and that is they would be raised to A, learn they're poor, B, they're black and they can't make it. I learned that if I worked hard, became competitive, was a fairly decent person, I could have what I want in life. And that's the only philosophy in life I've ever known.
So I'm not gonna play that whole thing, but at one point Donahue was cornering Tony in this one, and he was like, well, are you basically saying that if black people, like you're an example that black people can make it in, so there's no racist society? And then Tony started pushing back on that. But this one right quick is the end of it, when everybody go around the table and say what they, I guess they answer a question from Donahue.
They're looking for ways in which not just justice, but self-affirmation of humanity, sense of self-confidence, all of those intangibles that are part and parcel of race.
Speak for the basic and fundamental contradictions.
Is it possible that a cup of coffee between these various factions would allow all of us a meeting, a talk? Why the anger? Why?
You are interpreting intensity for hostility. And what I'm trying to explain to you is that if there's no freedom of speech in this country, when you do get to speak, you speak the truth, you speak clear, you speak fiercely, and you don't care whether you like it or not.
But the people who are really,
yes, Dr. Keith.
The people who are really forgotten, sure. I think the people who are forgotten, especially in the black community, there are a lot of people out there who go to work, who take care of their families, who raise their kids. They are the people who are silently struggling against the odds, who have respected decent values, who have gone out, they haven't committed crimes, they are not in jail. The vast majority of black people have always been decent working class people, and I think that they are also the heroes of the struggle. I think they are also people who deserve our respect. I think they're also people who deserve a voice that will speak from their side.
What are you talking about?
Who calls me names? I will speak for my parents. I will speak for the people who did everything against the odds to bring decent folks into the world, who didn't commit the crimes, who just did those dirty jobs that nobody else would do, so that we could move forward. I'll speak for them any day of the week.
I understand the anger. The anger is real, legitimate, and well-founded.
But it extends to youth. It goes to.
Oh, I think that's part of the pain and anguish of our system. That so often that anger gets self-directed at our own community. And quite frankly, as I said earlier, to me, it ultimately
African youth that you have to educate yourself. Don't depend on black leaders because most of them are insincere, and don't depend on white America to embrace you because it will not.
Mr. Kozol.
I think white people have to spend more time talking about the injustices which we perpetrate. I'd like to see some books written in the future, not about the problems of the underclass, but about the psychological distortions of the people who created that underclass.
Ms. Smith.
How you got on
I would agree and say that many veils have to be lifted. And this is why I originally started my remarks by saying that I think the issue of race is more than a black and white issue, so that we need to hear from more people because it is very complex.
President Silver.
I think the founding fathers were quite correct in noting the inadequacy of human nature and the importance of the division of power. For that reason, I agree with Alan Keyes that we've got to divide power and put it back in the hands of as many as possible.
I think America is on top of a powder keg that could tear us to smithereens, or we can begin to invest in our diversity and make us a real force in the 21st century. But we're going to have to start making that decision quickly.
I think that the foremost message that we have to address is that white America has to come to grips with its own conscience and its own moral corruption.
Mr. Monroe.
I think that while black people can and should do more for themselves, and while we have to look for coalitions, we must demand that the government of this country treat all of its people, provide opportunities for all of its people at the same level.
Mr. Brown.
Black people and white people are basically the same. Most of us are average. We have a few geniuses and liberal sprinkling of fools.
So Brown is you know, I've not focused on him at any point, but he is one of those that I read early on as promoting the buying power mythology on his way to his analysis for call for self-help. So for instance, he would routinely make the point that Black fraternities and sororities have their conventions every year at some white hotel, rather than bringing that money to a Black-owned business and thereby creating the example and the revenue for this, that, and the third. So he would say, he did that.
He sounded like he would walk away from that too, because in that same thing, he says something like, when they said something about economic, he's like, no, well, I'm not saying that. He said, he almost sounded like a less critical Amos. When Amos
maybe
traditional conservative, Black conservative.
Yeah, I'm talking about the power thing though.
I just want to quickly emphasize that while he was the host of his own media outlet, he would talk to people to his left.
Yes.
And that is something that I will, at minimum, want to give him credit for and think is very important. And it wasn't just some demeaning inclusion. It was, I'm going to hear your ideas. I will disagree with you, and then we will move on. So I think in this day and age, that's very important.
I think that's the best thing you could say about him.
But also seriously, like in that interview or in that panel when he had all those people, he actually had people, which I don't know, but he had groups line up with left. So he had Angela Davis, Kwame Ture, and Fannie Lou Hamer sitting together. And then the next one, and he goes all the way to the right wing, and he had them situated like that. But from what I saw, most of the time, he always, as you said, have that person on the left. And not only that, like he knows when the person on the left analysis is superior. Because at one time the caller asked the question and everybody look at each other, shit, I don't know how to answer, but Stokely know how to answer it. And then Stokely light the shit up. So yeah, I don't know what you got to say, Diallo, about farewell to Tony Brown.
I think Jared said it. I think his greatest contribution is, he platformed Chancellor Williams, and many other voices that would never see that much light outside of very particular Black circles. So I am grateful for that as well, because I grew up watching and those discussions. And I think even though he was conservative in his ideology, and he was a traditional Black conservative, but just like liberal conservative has been completely blown up to mean a bunch of other shit that it didn't used to mean. But he did respectfully and intelligently engage the left and gave people like me growing up an opportunity before YouTube and stuff, where we would have pass around books and a few progressive zines and stuff. But to be able to see voices of that magnitude on television was really, I think, a positive contribution. Aside from that, I think his conservative views are defunct at best.
Yeah, speaking of conservative, I think Diallo, I have to tell you, Jared and Dr. Erica Brown, even though they are talking about anti-financial literacy, they both are in love with InvestFest. I think Jared secretly an email got leaked that he will be going to InvestFest, and he's trying to, I think, go to Ghana.
I can't afford it.
What you mean?
I don't know why you put the Chiron like that, whatever. I can't afford it. I looked into that. I watched that video.
What you mean you can't afford? You can't afford what?
I don't think the three of us together can afford not only to go to InvestFest, but to invest with InvestFest. They're taking balloon flights over Morocco.
Bro,
eating breakfast.
It ain't tricking.
They're buying it. They bought up a city within a city in Ghana
with land disputes all over the place.
And a vegan Pan-African who's building running trails. I said he's the light-skinned Geechee.
No.
Because he was talking about his contribution was the fitness and the health, and he was building running trails in the city.
He's pretty funny, and you see him eating the fruit. He was eating the fruit.
Yeah, fake ass Bob Marley. That's what I was really calling him.
Yeah, so I want to play this clip, and the way Instagram has it, I'm gonna play the rest of it, but I'm gonna play it at the beginning.
Would you do this right here? Would you do this right here? That's what I want to know. Would either of you do this right here?
No.
Actually,
no,
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
nope.
I'm on planes all the time though. So like
you equate this with a plane?
I mean, you up there.
Oh, you up there.
You up there. I mean, fuck it. How you gonna be up there? The shit, anything go up? I mean, we talk about the moon. Shit, we got gravity over this bitch. So, but look, I want to remind y'all, when I went into InvestFest, when y'all sent me secretly undercover, the reason why I was able to get in free is because in one part of the Georgia World Congress, there were like thousands of black people with they're reading their script, and they all like, you know, they got their idea, and it's a pitch contest, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the doors are wide open, and I mean, like, there's tons of people at the pit, like all your niggas with the ideas, like my granddaddy, whatever, everybody is there, lined up around a building on the pitch day. Everybody is there, and so there's no security like that, right? So like the doors open, the person got to take a cigarette. So I just walk right in. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But then you see the guards, the police people, they prevent the pitch people from going into the big fest because that's where all the celebrities at. But you get to look at the hierarchy, you get to look down there and you be like, damn, like you wish you was there. But a lot of people don't give a fuck about anything that's going on because they there to pitch. They don't really care about that. They're trying to get their thing idea. So there's tons and tons of people there. What I am drawing is this dude started in one of them pitches. I don't know if it was the one I've been to or whatever, but he was pitching, and this is kind of how it got up to this point. But in a hot air balloon, which, you know, I've been in Costa Rica, and I know that there's these luxury things you can go do, and there might be locals that, you know, that's working there, but a white boy own the shit. Most of the things the white boy, like you see the white boy playing with the balloon,
most definitely.
And
you see it in Panama too.
And my nigga, like renting excursions ain't a lot. You know what I mean? Like they could have this excursion could have been $500, and they like split it, and like now they're on the thing, whatever. But I need to play the whole thing, so I'm gonna play it, and then we'll get to it.
Best fest in the crowd. I was a regular ticket holder.
VIP ticket holder.
Regular. So his first time was regular, the second time was VIP. Now we have business with Rashad and Troy. So you just got to keep building. You got to keep building and keep, well, being a great person too. Like, you know, come with some value. Like yesterday, Rashad had a panel. He said, make sure you always bring value to the table as well. So to look around this table, there's a lot of value add to this table. So show up and invest. Man.
It's not about being in the right place at the right time. It's about being in the right place all the time. This isn't just talk. We met at InvestFest 2 years ago. Now we having breakfast in the sky in a hot air balloon.
Worker
in Morocco.
Worker, white boy owner.
Big announcement coming too.
Huge
announcement at InvestFest this year.
Stay tuned.
Gets bigger.
I wonder what that white boy who was playing with the balloons, like these niggas, they got their phones out and they all like shooting.
He's probably thinking I do this 50 times a day.
They had a drone up there too.
Yeah.
I mean, but y'all gonna hate from outside the hot air balloon?
Yeah, we are.
That's the only way, because I'm never gonna be inside one.
Y'all hating from outside the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
You can't hate from
outside and on the ground looking up.
So there's a lot of things that I have been tracking for this InvestFest. I know before we did this thing where we looked up all the people who was going. What happened? I'm sorry, y'all be laughing and I missed it. What I miss?
Read the comment. I left it up for you.
But
worker,
nigga,
worker.
Worker, please.
Worker ass worker.
Oh, my bad. So look, I've been trying to look at this thing lineup.
Why is Vic Mensa there? Why is he there? I like Vic Mensa.
Oh, Vince told you whenever he said the Palestine thing, he lost some money, and then y'all helped him out, you know. So Vince gonna go where the money at. Vince need to get the money.
Why are you casting?
Hold up. Wait, is that Nick Cannon?
And we should support black businesses. We got to support black. You know, my buddy Jared Ball, Dr. Ball, who is at Morgan State, talks about this.
Yes,
sperm cannon. Of course.
So like, there's a lot.
Not your fertile women. Not your fertile wives. He's just going down there to inseminate some ideas and bring forth and birth some prophets. That's just crazy. You know, I never forget him saying my only criticism is that he had a token darkie. That shit was crazy to me.
Oh,
but
wow.
That does improve. Isn't that black buying power though, Jay? I think he just proved your whole shit. Because the black folks are like, we're not gonna watch your horrible minstrel show because all your baby mamas are racially ambiguous. And he was like, he went out and got a darkie that weekend and impregnated her. So
Listen,
not that weekend, not immediately, that night.
Yeah, well, let's get some work done, man. Let's get some work done, man.
Why is Big Mitch a
We got to pick some cot. We got to pick some.
You want us to do some work? Look at Steve Harvey's picture. How are we supposed to take these people seriously?
Because look at John Morgan from Morgan & Morgan.
I have Big's phone number.
Wow.
I ask him.
So listen, I've been trying to like really analyze like what they're doing, what they're telling the crowd they're doing. I mean, remember this thing used to call Invest Fest, and remember they got on by telling niggas how to invest and blah 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 blah. Remember but now this Invest Fest. But at Invest Fest, like the business model, I already told you about the pitch part, but the business model is wild, right? So you either get paid to be on the stage, or you can pay to be on the stage. It really depends. So they getting paid all hand over fist. They got the vendors, they got the tickets, they got the pitch people. Like everybody is just paying, right? I know Morgan & Morgan it has to be paying because you probably see Morgan & Morgan on the billboards. I know down south they here everywhere, like especially in Georgia. And Morgan & Morgan, why would he be at Invest Fest for like? What does that have to do with anything when you got black lawyers? There's tons and tons and tons and tons of black lawyers with billboards. But it's a good chance that Morgan & Morgan is like, yo, the billboards advertisement ain't enough. So I'm coming to advertise my business. I'm paying to play. I'm coming to, keep
But where else you going to be with
the coach's top thought leader?
He said thought.
Hey, but listen, I remember telling y'all.
Nick Cannon said, "I thought it was be some thought leaders here. Y'all got thought."
Everybody's trying to
Jim
get
Jones
money to
and Van Lathan. Good God.
Jim Jones deserves
you
to
see
be
their
there.
business down here. They got Keisha Lance Bottoms here.
Who that is? Y'all better stop hating on Vic. Vic is a real.
They got David, who said he's the social proof. He tells you how to build a podcast. They're gonna even have a dating section there. So I don't know, Jared. I don't know why you're going down there, but listen, like,
why are you saying I'm going down there? Why do you keep saying that?
What happened to your? Then after you sign up for some stuff and they sending you by the Invest Fest and your flights.
No, I'm
for just walk across the street and go.
Going back to season 1, I've signed up on their email list, and somehow I ended up getting their text message alerts too. But I'm not going to be down there, and I don't interact. But I wanted to, did we finish seeing all the people that were going to be there?
I can go back on with some more.
Yeah.
I was curious. I didn't finish seeing I haven't looked at the list. Were there any other notables?
They didn't list these people by prominence or popularity, because I'm seeing some heavy hitters.
And
close to the
it's
bottom.
not alphabetically either.
Yeah, well, how did they determine? Because it's heavy hitters toward the bottom.
So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if it's separated between who's getting paid to be there, who's paying to be there. Like for instance, Keisha Lance Bottom, her campaign team probably paid to get her a spot. But this guy is a rapper or something like that. Like he probably just want to be on the national stage, like get his stuff out there. There's people who
Justice Wear Cool Pants is his name.
Listen, man. Sometimes they might have nonprofit orgs there, and the nonprofits will get up there and say, we do this and we serve in the community. Like, so I don't really know the layout, but I know that again, there's people who are getting paid to be there. Then this is the sister from that little dating show where it's like a few people on the stage and they always talking, and So there's just
the Wealth Academy. There are this many people getting money off of this hustle.
Rico Love. So y'all remember when I told y'all that the guy who said he was gonna kill the kids because he was scamming them? This is my guy from Baltimore who, when I got up stage, like I was like in VIP at the front, like literally where the stage at. So all the people were here, and I'm seeing him, but he wasn't on the stage yet. He was just there. He was invited there because whatever. But now he's made it to the stage. And again, it's almost like this big ass, anybody who has a business, a black idea or whatever, you probably would want to go to InvestFest, because where else could you sit in a big ass auditorium or big stage where you get to promote your business or your idea to
Cash.
Yeah, man.
I mean, some of the names, I'm like,
and you know, somebody on that Donahue video looked like Keisha. So I don't know if that was her then now, but
I think Serena Williams, man.
Serena Williams is getting paid to be there.
Huh?
Serena Williams, she's getting paid to be there.
She's there for the love. She wants us to be rich like her.
No.
She don't need that money.
Listen. The top people actually. This is actually how.
Didn't she marry a billionaire too?
Yeah, but she ain't sure. She don't need that money.
Listen, these three people are getting paid because they be the headliners. They pretty much Serena's the headliner this time. So when 50 was the headliner, when I was there,
if she ain't paying tennis, if she not playing tennis, what people? I mean, I think she's there because she wants us to really impart some knowledge and inspiration. I think she's there for sincerity.
You called me naive earlier, but now you being naive. So I guess it's not age specific. So
I don't know why Nick Cannon just don't go with this crowd. Not Nick Cannon, Vic Mensa.
But anyway, Jerry. So what I want, why I was joking about you going was when I was there, I happened to see Erica there. I can't remember how it coordinated.
Because she was doing her research.
Invest in GLP-1. She got GLP-1 money.
Diallo, why do you?
I'm sorry. I'm talking to the comments. I'm sorry.
I see.
I'm going to be present.
So, anyway, so Erica wants me to help her interview people. We interviewing people, but while we interviewing people, we also hearing about this Africa deal. Everybody got Africa in the land, and the land. I'm like, I'm not like, and then I don't remember what Erica said. You should have a conversation with her, but I don't know if she was curious for the research purposes or curious that it's possible avenue, right? I don't know. Y'all talk about that. But these people are now, because remember he said we got a very great surprise announcement, right? And their announcement is in the balloon. The announcement is this Wakanda City Forever is being built, right? And Diallo, not Diallo, Jerry, I don't know if you have specific clips of anything. You said you had a clip, but I
didn't ever. No, the only clip was the thing I had on Obama. This is I did watch this though, and I even put some notes on your in your note. First of all, it must have been hot as hell in there because everybody in there he looked like he was trying to rush his way out of this interview because it was
something
so
was
hot.
in his eye though. Looked like he was having
sweat.
It
was sweat, and he's trying to stay in his hot ass outfit that looked like that heavy wool or whatever. That even though it's a short set, and it's hot, it just looks like it's hot in there because the other brother that they interviewed too. Look, everybody's just in there hot, but. They refer to this. The thing opens up with her referring to this as the African dream, and they refer to it as what is it? Sombra City, but it's more like Sombra, complex housing neighborhood or whatever because it's in Accra.
Bro, somebody call it a housing project.
Well, it's a housing project. It's not a project in the conventional sense of government subsidized housing for the poor. What they said was this is investor subsidized housing for the rich that will be turned into subsidies for the poor. That's the claim of Timu Bob Marley in his part of the interview was that what we're seeing here is for the rich. And once they get all this seed money, because I looked it up,
Trickle
Yeah.
down.
It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then with 15, now what I was trying to look into and I couldn't get far enough, I just didn't put in enough disciplined effort. But because they made reference to it a number of times in this interview, that these are the luxury homes that are hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that you can get 10 to 15 year mortgages. Now, what I did that are at lower than market rates according to their website.
White South African banks.
Well, that's the part I couldn't confirm. I didn't.
So listen, it's white South African banks, 2 of them, who are already exploiting the hell out of people down there. And listen, the I can't Cole or Bowl or the chubby
Cola investment, Cola finance group or whatever.
So the dude, matter of fact, in the story he'll tell you like his,
and they're backed by Jumbo South Africa's Jumbo some other kind of
Europeans putting up the money. They putting up the money, they building it, and they gonna get it back if they sell it. That's why they ain't complete the phase yet. They said it's gonna be 300 acres and so many houses, and they said we're gonna start with 40, and they don't even have the 40 houses yet. They got the outside infrastructure of it, but it's not a functional house yet. And this has been 2 years ago, and they said it was going to get it done in a couple months. So they about to lose money, and they're gonna own the white boys' money because the white boys already start building the stuff. They front up the
that's why they got to have another Invest Fest to get some more Ponzi money in their bank.
So listen, I want to do 2 things here. I want to dig into them, their this thing, but I also want to hear y'all analysis and reflections of Pan-Africanism, the year return, and Kwame Nkrumah, all those things, because my older cousin was telling me how like college was getting year return, and a bunch of people was going back. And I want to see if y'all can answer some questions around Pan-Africanism, but I do want to look into this. So I want to play some of this clip of they're literally calling like a Wakanda and the Dreamland and all this other stuff. Like,
my remarks are very quick on this. This is because we even started covering this on season 1, where even people we know were involved with some of the year of return business. They've rebranded Pan-Africanism as Black capitalism and a Black bourgeois endeavor. They've rebranded a year of return in Nkrumah, all of the concepts of diaspora and unity as a Black business effort. And I thought it was actually, after the jokes and everything, I thought the video was really sad and upsetting. But yeah, so that's it. Go ahead.
Why was he eating a honeydew melon in the middle of the interview?
It was hot.
Why was he eating a honeydew melon?
And he was trying to convey he was the fitness guy. He's the vegan guy. He's the one making sure they're growing he's growing vegan food.
Bad. No, he's a brand. Listen, this dude has a business where he mails you fruit.
That's like, fine, but in the middle of, but anyway, I think.
But in the middle of an interview, it was really important.
These are
Brandon. This is Brandon.
Listen.
Wait, first of all, listen. The whole thing is staged, y'all. They are having a meeting, right? So you know how the building is being built. Like the building is not even finished built. They go up and they put a table where these people it's unfinished construction site. They're sitting at a table at unfinished construction sites.
That's why they had no air conditioning. That's why they didn't have no air conditioning. They probably didn't even have a fan in that joint.
If you listen to the logic of
when you look.
Oh, let me play this right quick.
Behind me,
and back it up so you can hear her say this is the African dream.
Now this is the African dream. When you look behind me, you can see this development happening that is bringing together the diaspora and continental Africans. This is the coming together of men from Africa and from the diaspora to create something great, to create something that will be a legacy known as Sanbra City. And Sanbra in Twi means return.
Nothing material.
This is
again, imagine an unfinished
for the diaspora community and
development being the dream.
Africans to have a place that you can call home.
That you needed
right
white
here
boys to
in Ghana.
get off the
So
ground.
let's talk to the men behind this project.
The men behind the project.
Oh wow! So somebody says they know this lady.
They do. Him and this guy, they know each other.
February.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we're moving quick. So
Yeah.
that's not the mortgage system. That's everything from a 1-bedroom to a 5, and it's safe.
Yeah, he looks miserable.
You mentioned briefly about it being on the rise with the diaspora, but something could be on the rise, but maybe it doesn't sit well with you. But why Ghana in the first place?
Well, when we came out here, we just felt the love. You know, everybody's so friendly, very laid back. It's so much going on.
Because there's grifters in Ghana too, by the way.
Have the
There's
spotlight.
grifters on both.
It's a stable
Oh,
government.
no.
It's
Right.
safe.
With love.
Checked off a lot of boxes. Relatively close to America, as far as on the coastline of the west coast of Africa. That's important too for travel. You know, it's quicker than some other countries that may be more to the east or more to the south. So yeah, from that standpoint, Ghana was one of these places
This
that
looks terrible.
made a lot
I
of
think they
sense.
should have not done this.
And I first want to say,
Just even from
well
their
done over the
perspective.
years. You've been very much involved when it comes to projecting African culture through music, through the arts, through entertainment. You've been doing a lot behind the
Diallo,
scenes
you like
that
to
people
have
don't even really
red
know. So I
praying
just want to make sure
like
that I commend you for everything you've done.
Thank you, Ivy. I appreciate that.
And
Ridiculous.
it's good to see that you ventured out into this real estate area. I think your family already had a lot of land in real estate already.
Ding,
so
ding, ding. That was the
I
other
didn't
thing.
realize that.
Yeah, my father is a real estate appraiser, so he
'Cause they got a
basically taught me
chief
everything
system
about
too
real
there.
estate early years of my life.
That's good.
And I worked with him for like maybe a year or so. And he basically that's where the love for real estate came from. I stepped away from it for a while, but we were always going to go back to it. We just wanted to make sure we did it the right way.
And is this your first project?
No, we have other projects in East Legon, in Tema, but this is our first large-scale project, yes.
And how many acres are you working on right now?
For now, the first phase, we have about 300 acres, but in total, we're probably going to close about 500. But the first phase, 300 acres, yes, is what we're working with.
Wow. And with that 300 acres,
But if you
how is it
have
all
if you have
divided
the
up
land
with
and how
respect to
like
the
if
types of
you either have the land or you don't have the land.
To be fair, this whole project started out with us
Because
trying to
they in
venture
land
into
disputes.
affordable
One of the brothers in there
What
in the
people
land
don't know is
dispute right
about
now.
2018-19, Kwame and I raised about $5 billion for affordable housing.
5 million?
Billion. Yeah.
You raised $5 billion
Yeah.
for affordable housing in Ghana.
And not just
Affordable
Ghana,
housing.
to be built across Africa. And we lost all of it. So it went to zero.
So A-Rob, right on time. My city lost billions in tax revenue due to corporate
We're
landlords
like in a market?
disputing their valuations
No, there's
because
a
they
lot
were
of
not getting
red tape
anticipated
that
return
and
on
moving
investment
parts
as a
and
result
certain things I can't say
of
on camera, but-
vacancies
information about them
in
out
housing
there.
crisis. But this man just sat here and said, we lost $5 billion in real estate ventures, but come invest in our new one. That doesn't even make any sense.
So
why would
Diallo-
you allow that? Why would you even, his PR team, if he had one, would be flipping out right now? Why are you even talking about that? She didn't even ask you about that.
Diallo. I know
Lord put
you.
it on his
I know you-
heart to tell the
So
truth.
capitalism
Yeah.
ain't capitalism, right? So you can even see this dude in the back look like he they're just walking through the compound. But I wonder what this dude in the red shorts is. Is he a worker? Did he live there, or any of those other things? But these people, by working with developers from Ghana, right? Now it's interesting because again, that black dude is not necessarily a developer. Like I don't know, like, and he's not the capital either behind it. He's just, and he lived in the U.S., but I guess he got some people back there. So he got to work with somebody who's actually there, which is not really him. It's going to be the other guy who's going through land disputes right now. By working with developers from Ghana, they aim to create more opportunities for others to invest in the continent. Invest in the continent. Provide economic growth opportunities and connect back to what may have been lost. Our vision is to create a sustainable and thriving community that not only addresses the housing deficit, but also invites people from the diaspora to come home and invest in their future, Blay said in a statement. But here's this one. According to the Daily Guide News network of the Cascades, will host 2-bedroom unit apartments starting at $180,000, 4-bedroom townhouses from $275,000, and 5-bedroom villas at $450,000. To help fund the massive project, because that's what we got to talk now. We got to talk about the money part. Developers are working with Plotis Investments Limited through EPC F contracts, Turkish company. Now, these are the people who got the money. And then, as I said, First National, who are already doing some weird shit and wild shit in South Africa. These are who they're working with. Diallo, what? So, if you can talk about your response and maybe what you look up, but then I want you to weave in, because there are some people who saying the Back to Africa movement and blah, blah, blah. And I want you to kind of tie in your thoughts around what Pan-Africanism, because there's an article that I'm going to share too that Dr. Layla Brown contributed to, but I want you to, again, initially respond, and I'm going to pull up the article.
Well, this is a classic neo-colonial situation. Neocolonialism was brought about because Black people developing over decades of colonialism and imperial exploitation, a distrust and hostility for the presence of white people. You know, whether they are missionaries, whether they are governors, or whether they are business people. So neocolonialism is essentially putting white resources, white agendas behind Black front men. So now they have Black heads of state, Black cultural leaders, Black developers doing the promotion, being present, media and all of that, and to give a sense of trust and ownership from the exploited masses. So that's all it is. It is just old school classical neocolonialism, and neocolonialism has always draped itself in radical rhetoric, Black power, Black liberatory rhetoric. Always. You see some of the biggest African sellouts, Mobutu's, you know, and some of the biggest African sellouts have talked about kicking out the white man and Black people doing it for themselves and having our own. So this is a classic neo-colonial. It's such a lazy neo-colonial effort that, you know, it pains me that so many people, as I looked in the comments, were falling for it. And these developments, somebody would put Akon City in the comments, that people are just falling for this shit. But we don't have to go a continent away. You look at Jay-Z and the United and that little ball chasing arena he put in Brooklyn. Obama here in you know, after all the hoopla and fanfare, Obama went back to his bunker, his multi-million-dollar bunker in Hawaii. So we looking over there like, oh, them brothers and sisters in that third world country, they're doing that here. We have as much of a colonial or neo-colonial relationship with the Black bourgeoisie in the United States as they do here. So it's really sad. And in the angle of Pan-Africanism is an ideology and agenda. And we have to stop allowing these predatory and parasitic individuals take the rhetoric, the branding, the style, and the goodwill that Pan-Africanism has cultivated to use for these insidious projects and these self-enriching ventures that they're trying to act as though it's empowerment. And this is the main thing about investment. I'll leave it here. Investment literally means, in a capitalist context, you put in as little as possible to get out as much as possible. That's what investment is. So you can't invest in a community, in a country. You can't invest in, that's not a good thing, because investment means putting in as small amount as possible to extract as much as possible. Investment, having people invest in your community is not a good thing.
This is why I keep this is why I keep saying we need to be more clear and make sure we have a material component to however we define whatever. And that's why I like the AAPRP's definition of Pan-Africanism because it says specifically United States of Africa under scientific socialism. It's kind of similar to what I see happening in these other atheist debate spaces. I don't know why it's that atheist does not in and of itself convey a politic any more than at this point the phrase Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism, unfortunately. So that's why I think we do need to be clear on how we're defining these things and make sure that there's a material component that involves redistribution, not as because again, I want to reiterate that Timu Bob Marley in his interview said that the point is we're going to take the investment for these rich housing units, and that is going to be used to fund the to subsidize the housing for the poors. And this claim, going back to the Jay-Z comparison of how can I help the poor if I'm one of them, that's this fallacious Obama borrowing from Reagan trickle down economic nonsense.
So Jared, I'm curious if you could
how can I exploit the poor if I'm one of them?
That's really what it is. Yeah.
So there's all this argument that you used to hear. I don't know if you still hear, is like, what's the solution? And there's been some struggles on telling you that you do have a solution, but let's kind of pivot back around the buying power idea, because essentially what they tell you all the time is we got to galvanize our buying power and whatever. And this is us, right? Out of all the money these cats have made, this is them organizing their buying power to build something. Now, if it's their buying power, they're actually getting investments from other people. As I said before, this dude right here, he's already having land disputes other places in Africa, like court documents or whatever, like trying to take land. Like, I mean, it's already a conflict. And they're using this particular bank. They're using this particular developing company, white development company, to build something, and they got to front the money ahead of time. So they got to front the money, they got to pay for these things. So if you're able to sell the idea to all these Americans, they say they got like 300 potential buyers sign up. So at InvestFest, they had that paper walking around asking people to sign up, and I'm like, I'm not about to sign up for this shit. And I think Erica might have signed up for it. Maybe, I don't know. She might have said she might be interested. So these are 300 potential buyers. If you buy a house right now, you buy the one for the 150,000. You don't even have a house yet. And if EYL is not able to convince that these people that they took this loan from, to convince these people that they should finish the project because they got the money to finish the project gonna stop. So when you go to these countries, sometimes you'll see projects develop, they just stop. They stop. That's gonna happen. You as somebody from America, the bank gonna get their money. Like you ain't gonna have no damn house, but you still gonna owe 150,000 or whatever. Like the bank gonna get their money. The people who getting their money is the bank and the damn contractor. The two white people. The two white people is for sure getting their money, and everybody else getting caught up in some shit. So I wonder if there's
one thing that was clear from the video that I did watch about this project. There is no explanation offered that would even pretend to claim a solution to any form of material inequality of any kind. So in other words, they didn't even offer up a claim that we're going to raise this amount of money, we're going to do this, we're going to generate this amount of revenue to do that, and this is how we're going to do this, we're going to do that, it's going to end up with this end result. None of that. So all they're selling is this fantasy, the dream, as she defined it at the beginning, that somehow an unfinished complex is the African dream. And this idea that if you invest, you'll get some return on your investment. But to your point, the only people that are going to get any return are the people who are funding all of this in the first place. If that, if they do, the assumption is the Earn Your Leisure crew is bringing in the workable Ponzi revenue to get that first round of investors their payout and for them to get gone. But at the end of the day, somebody's going to be left holding a bag, and it's going to be what we saw of Akon City, one little sign in the middle of a desert or whatever, where some empty barren land.
So one of these things, the EPC stands for Engineering, Procurement, Construction, and the F stands for Financing. So that one company is gonna design the project. They ain't doing it. They don't even get to design their shit. They don't even get to be like, oh, we want hair over here, and we want this over this, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So they don't know how to do the irrigation, the water. They're not doing none of that shit. The engineers, they're gonna design it. They're gonna source the purchase material and equipment. They ain't coming from y'all niggas neither, so y'all ain't own that neither. They're gonna build it, and they're gonna also arrange the financial stuff. So if these cats done made all that money, they don't even have, not only they don't have the capacity to do anything, the niggas who they platform is not even investing in this. There's no Steve Harvey investment. There's no Jeezy or 50 Cents or whoever. They're not they're going to the white boys. Go ahead, Diallo.
And the thing about it is, because I think that people are so caught up on development, which is again a capitalist absurdity. This very concept of Africa and development, or Black community and development, number one. But there is another thing, that because there's a concept called maldevelopment, where you see a lot of investment, a lot of growth, a lot of energy, a lot of action, but it's leading people down an unsustainable road, or leading towards the development leads towards the concentration of capital in the hands of a few people who got in at the front, while the masses of the people have, like you said, a bunch of unusable, unnecessary infrastructure. Africa has been getting development. Africa has been under perpetual development for centuries, but it's maldevelopment. Most of Africa's development is oriented towards extracting the resources from the continent and redistributing them to the Western powers, and now the East as well. So I think that with the what we have to understand when people come to talk to us about development and entrepreneurialism, every large scale sustained development has had an enormous level of state input, intervention, regulation, funding, guaranteed of funds. So even the capitalist superpowers, their funding was a state-driven, state-sustained, state-funded, state-legitimized, state-regulated, state-rescued when it would start to collapse. So if they're not telling you that the government, the state, is not an intricate part of this, but these random people, these random entrepreneur thought leaders and investors and private bank and private interests, then that is pure parasitism, pure parasites. So if they're not engaging with the state, then they're just but then again, if the state is a neo-colonial puppet regime, then it still ain't got you. So you need a sovereign, independent state on top of that so-called development, even if you want to do the capitalist thing. Even the most capitalistic, for-profit driven has had an enormous major mega projects have all been guaranteed and regulated by the state. And I don't see any of that going on here. This is all a Ponzi scheme.
Again, exactly right. I just want to double down on emphasizing that point that Diallo's making. Without political power, all of this is useless, and we never hear any discussion of political power. Even to Diallo's point, in the neo-colonial form, they are quietly making deals with whatever neo-colonial business attaché, government attaché, or whatever there might be, I'm sure. But yeah, like I would love to see some effort that says, let's pool our resources to fund an effort to get political power in this region. And I would get that would be the Ponzi scheme. You know,
I mean,
you don't
yeah,
get
but,
alone doing that shit.
I mean, you might.
You'd be
I don't
lucky
know.
to get a bus ticket. A
I don't
bus
know.
token.
I don't know, D. I don't know. I think there's some people. There's some people and organizations can pull off the rhetoric and the balloon at the same time. So
but it's rhetoric. Here's the thing that Claude Anderson used to say: we can't even do wrong right. Here these brothers are there doing this conspiracy, because that's what it is. It's conspiracy. It's an economic conspiracy, and they're not even following the fundamental rules of capitalism.
Absolutely.
They're not even following the fund.
No,
they
I'm
believe
saying
in something that's
pool.
wrong, but they can't even do the wrong shit the right way.
I'm saying pool our FBA money and colonize the continent. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So Diallo, so the thing is diaspora facing, right? And then all the articles, they was like, oh, it's going to be for the locals too, and it's not whatever. And there's already a politic around the year of return, right, into an Africa that's not the Africa that Kwame Nkrumah had. So what's your both of y'all experience with people and this idea of year of return? Because there could be an argument that, well, these people, you can't build shit here, you need to go back to Africa. And it's like, well, y'all was doing a Republic of New Africa, but what y'all doing down there? Maybe y'all doing something in Jackson. Like, at least these brothers are doing something. Like, what has been your response? What has been your response with this experience with the year return rhetoric in your personal experience, or even in your analysis of how it is bullshit, or if it's effective, or if it was effective at some point, or
wasn't the year return 10 years ago?
Yeah, it was a couple of years at least.
Right.
But
they trying to reignite it. But they did it twice though. They did it when I thought it was in the 80s or something like that. Wasn't it something?
It was 2019.
But that's a newer one. But they've done this multiple times. But yes, yeah.
Honest, I've never, even when I went outside, I never really had much experience with it at all. The only discussions that I've ever been involved in at all with the diaspora or the African population here is along the lines of political power. So I don't, which is just, and I admit, marginal spaces. Even when I was on the continent, we were in marginalized spaces. So we were, I've never been, well, the closest, maybe when we went to Zimbabwe, we stayed we did stay in the Sheraton. But for the most part, my experience, even on the continent, has been in places where nobody's talking about investment. And so the only, and really the only time, and nobody's talking about the year of return. It's been more of a discussion of sustained Pan-Africanism. Right. The year of return to me has always been, my limited experience with it has been presented to me as more of a commercial branding business, either for business investment or commercial tourism. It's not, so I don't really have any experience with it beyond that. And yeah.
Would you say that it's normally, so again, this is not Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana, far from it. And so the leaders and the grifters in Ghana, because remember, there's arguments that the government is interacting with them, and he denies. He's like, no, there's no government land, give us and whatever, because it's not like the government sanctioned this. They're trying to recreate the year of return, and I don't even think they can conceptualize an analysis on the year of return in the first place.
This is the way I really see it. I do remember this vividly when Robert Mugabe told a table of us, yeah, we want you all to come back home, but not all of you. And his point was, we really can't accommodate
economically why we want to come back.
And that's what I'm saying. Those of you we want to come back, either you could put the positive political spin on it and say we want the truly committed political revolutionaries, which we know are not many, or we want the handful of you that can afford $400,000 for an unbuilt, probably never to be built
house. Listen, if y'all bring y'all black asses back there, y'all gonna enrich the tourist industry too. Because guess what? When you move your ass all the way out there, ain't your family and your cousins and your friends and everybody gonna come visit you? So if all y'all come and visit, y'all gonna increase tourism. So who you think is behind it? There will probably be the elites and none of the local people, because none of the local people can afford that shit. They can't afford no. Them people getting paid like $140 a week, bro. None of them niggas gonna be anywhere near that. In fact, they might get shot if they come near those little this whatever city that they're building.
Or the already existing, like the dude's father, like the already existing Ghanaian bourgeoisie, they might get a place in there. Maybe. I don't know. But you know, yeah,
I always fall back on what Dr. Clark said. He said you can't run an African economy if you can't sustain a candy store in Harlem. So for Africans seeking to return with good intention, you know, I know personally black people who didn't talk to their neighbors was going to go build a community in Ghana and didn't talk to black people who live next door or across the street to them. So I've always been quite, you know, resigned to the fact that this is the Pan-Africanism is just that. Everywhere Africa we didn't break from Africa, we spread Africa. So if you can't do Africa on the south side of Chicago, going to the African continent, you're not going to be able to do Africa there. And then people, like where you said, people are like, well, what are you doing? At least these brothers are doing something. I get that a lot here in Chicago. People are like, oh, so-and-so is doing this. And I'm like, it's better to do nothing than do the wrong shit.
Sometimes, yeah, absolutely.
I would proudly sit and say, I ain't done doing shit. Because before I say I did things to validate the oppression and exploitation, to lend my name or support, or to exploit, you know, because that's the question they ask when they ain't got no dirt on you. What are you doing?
So Jared,
give me a moment.
Right, snitch on yourself. What are you doing?
I ain't doing shit. I ain't done nothing to nobody, because like you said, the projects that I've been a part of, there is nobody that can say, well, we lost money, we lost land, we lost, you know, standing. And those projects are few and far between and hard to come by, especially nowadays. So but I tell you, before you run out here and say, well, I want to look busy, I want to look like I'm contributing, and you jump on with these EIL parasite, earn your leisure type parasites, you know, work will set you free type cats, it's better just stay home.
Y'all the little niggas. We the big niggas. Y'all the little niggas. So listen, I'm gonna show y'all how you turn two atheists into prophets. That's what I'm gonna do. Right? So we are prophesying over your life and telling you that when you go to InvestFest, that special secret that they have for you is they are thriving. They are booming. The city is there and they almost sold out. So y'all better get in while y'all get in, because they almost sold out. And this is the time of the lifetime. All those revolutionaries on YouTube talking that shit, they ain't doing shit, but we going back to Africa and we building something. So this is what they're going to be talking about. But in reality, what they're going to be dealing with is that ambitious real estate project, because it's so ambitious that it don't even make sense financially. Logically, financially, investment-wise, it's actually a bad investment. It's a horrible investment. If you really think about investment, that's the worst investment. And if you don't want to make no money, you want to lose money, you want to like jump off a bridge. That's
just lost $5 billion. Dude was like, oh, we lost $5 billion.
That's
I
love Rhonda.
And I don't know whether him lying about that, lying about it, or telling the truth. It's like I've never seen something that's equally bad as a lie and the truth before. I've never heard a statement.
Well, listen,
equally bad no matter how you spend it.
So the reality is, again, they have 40 community units, and back in 2024, and they were supposed to be completed the full big thing. Remember, the full big thing is the big 300 acre. And remember, those white boys already start building. The Turkish people already start building, and it looks like, and again, I'm just going off a video. It looks like pay some, we build some. Pay some more, we build some more. Right? That's what it looked like. And it looked like they stopped because they want to make.
Because remember, he said we're starting at 300 acres, we're going to 500.
Yeah.
The plan is to eventually, after we Ponzi scheme it up, we're gonna go to.
But the best thing about these types of projects, the best thing they got going for themselves is that when they fail, it's our fault. It's Black people's fault. We don't support each other. We don't get so they can be as incompetent as they want to be, because if it fails, since this is about Sabra and us returning, and they put all this pro-Black rhetoric and emotionalism embedded into the project, if it fails, it will be the community's fault for lack of support.
It's them earn your liberation workers,
right? But the workers, these no good workers out here. If it succeeds, it's not a collective endeavor. It's their own ingenuity. It's their own entrepreneurial prowess. But if it fails, it'll be a collective failure. If it succeeds, it'll be an entrepreneurial.
We failed, I succeeded.
Exactly.
Okay, let's do that. Right? These brothers tell you who they are. One of them used to be a teacher. The other one, I don't know, he's doing some New York shit, and then they whatever.
Can't trust teachers, man. They're the worst demographic.
Teachers and ball players. They're ball chasers and teachers.
None of them are economists. None of them are economists. None of them are finance people. In fact,
that would make it better.
Listen, let me play it out. None of them are finance people. They're not economists. They're not scholars. They're none of that shit. But they have brought anti-finance people on there. Remember, they started out with niggas telling them to commit fraud. They almost got in trouble. They was teaching people to commit fraud online. So they actually
500 didn't he get locked up?
Yes. They intern, they start to get a rum, and then they start bringing out a bunch of people. And then during the pandemic, where all the celebrities got to do shit like a versus because they losing all their money because they ain't got no damn money, they created a way for y'all celebrities to get money now. So they're bringing in celebrities to InvestFest so they can trick these people that you need to invest in yourself. So none of these people they don't got no land surveying. They don't know none of this shit, right? But you're trusting in them to get this done. They're gonna not only on some Black shit take loans from a Turkish white boy, and then in order to pay back the loans from the Turkish white boy, they're gonna facilitate you into debt with a bank. A white bank in South Africa.
Pan-Africanism.
And then when it dropped, you
don't know whether it wants to be Europe or Africa anyway.
Like, look, these niggas is worse than Killer Mike, is what I'm saying. They're master. They're worse than Killer Mike.
Listen, when we're doing EYL from a hot air balloon eating breakfast over Morocco, maybe some folks, then we can say something. Exactly.
Listen, let's come get on the L train with a granola bar and take out the camera, yo.
Straight up, that's what we should do. That is exactly what we should do. We should film an EYL segment on the
bars. Like, yo.
And an oat milk latte in the corner of the train. Talk about come to EYL.
Come to EYL. Listen, hey, public transit, public infrastructure investment embedded in the community. Accessible to all. You ain't got to have a grip or a fat bankroll to get on board. All right, you don't even got to pay a fare. Hop the turnstile.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we.
Although I don't know if although those days, I don't know if I could do that these days. That's a whole other level of risk at this point.
I never used to pay my fare, but now I think I got to.
No,
because from my hospital bed, I can't rock you.
Exactly. I'm hopping it in spirit, though. In spirit, I'm hopping the
cops run up to give you CPR, not to arrest you.
What's one of y'all want to cook up that pole?
Surrender aid.
Oh my God, that's it. That's terrible. That would be such a terrible way to go out.
Jerry, you want to cook up the pole for us?
What? All right. All right, yeah, let me remember how to do this. Widgets, poll.
Who's weakest of the week this week?
Who is the weakest of the week? So we have Obama.
InvestFest.
As
a crew.
You gonna get a whole crew it? You gonna get the whole crew it?
Who else?
Whole lineup except Vic Mensa.
Oh, how about what them boys' name? All This Smoke. The podcast, All This Smoke.
All the Smoke.
Oh, them dudes aren't them the bad boys of the NBA?
They were.
Yeah, y'all talking greasy about
Erica
Are those the only three?
They say Erica for making me do them interviews last time at Fest.
Oh wow, Dr. Brown for the interviews for the Geechee interviews. All right, anything else? Oh, actually, that's it. We can only have 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, here we go. Create, start, and show. All right, everybody, drop your numbers in the chat.
So 1 for Obama, 2 for InvestFest, 3 for All the Smoke podcast, the whole group, or 4 for Dr. Brown. The future.
So the way you vote on Weekends of the Week, you should put the number
in the chat,
the one you would vote for in the chat, and press enter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much.
Good job, Diallo.
I'm probably gonna have to keep going with the Obamas as much as InvestFed. I just can't. I really can't stand. And it feels it's like a more meta version of what EYL is doing. Like EYL can't do InvestFest without Obama's support. So that would be my vote, but I do like that Dr. Brown has gotten
Earn
no
Your
votes.
Liberation is a neoliberal movement. It is
leisure. Earn Your Leisure.
Oh, right. Damn.
Right.
Damn,
we just
Earn Your Leisure is a very much all the fundamental principles of neoliberalism are present within Earn Your Leisure, including the very notion that leisure is something that you're not inherently entitled to, but something that you have to make yourself worthy of.
And this is why they go above Obama, is what you're saying?
I don't think they should go above Obama, but
like they should win. They should win Weekends of the Week, is what you're saying.
Well, Obama's retired. He can't hurt us anymore.
I agree. I
wait
agree.
a minute. I don't agree that he can't hurt us. By the way, let me be clear. Dr. Brown is Erica Brown. We're not talking about Tony Brown. I should have been more clear about that. I just want to make sure nobody think, because Tony Brown is not an option. We respect.
So also, Jared, Diallo, so remember now, these brothers are saying they revolutionary and whatever. Obama said he ain't the president of black people. He said he the president of America. So Obama left Jeremiah Wright Church and say, I ain't with y'all niggas no more, I'm done. So you can expect him to do what he do. But EYL,
I don't agree though. But I don't agree. I agree that you are right to assess Obama that way, but I don't think Obama has presented himself that way. And I think he's been presented. So even going back to that earlier discussion about the targets of the propaganda, Obama has a very skilled presentation that is designed to capture various groups of people at various times in various ways, all for the same purpose. So when,
but can I get back on the record? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was joking when I said he can't hurt us anymore. Even from a presidential standpoint, his policies that he enacted and precedents that he set in his imperialist status quo presidency are still doing harm to black people all over the world, starting with Libya and Haiti. So I was joking when I said he's no longer president, he can't hurt us anymore. I'm sorry if that joke went over your head or below your radar. I was joking. Obama is still very much a problematic individual doing harm to us politically, economically, psychologically, socially, and culturally.
I agree. So, and that's why when I'm saying, so for like Geechee, like I'm saying that when he sits and does this stylized interview with All the Smoke, I think that's his way of alluding, because that's all he's ever really done is make allusions that the black community is meant to pick up sort of off the, below the radar, off the radar, whatever, even subconsciously, that but while he actually says and does all the things that are creating all the harm Diallo's describing. So that's why I'm saying, like, he has a propaganda that's meant to make white people feel like we were highlighting writing these praise songs to what he makes them think about their version of America. But then to black people, he has his, I know I didn't give you any jobs, peace, security from the police. You know, I didn't stop wars. I was drone killing a whole bunch of people. I didn't give you any of that. But what I will give you is a little bit of swag. I'll make a reference about Trump being a punk. I'll sit with all the smoke. I'll shoot hoops with him. I'll sit down with Malcolm Gladwell and I'll talk about race and Reconstruction, and he'll do all these things that are meant to convey that I am with you when he's not. I mean, so that's why I thought it was really deep that they, like as you listen to them talk about Reconstruction, and even the two sisters writing letters to one another, they're clear to point out that one of them had a little bit of money and that the two of them could find across class lines, a love within a still very obviously racist anti-woman society. And it was all because they weren't, like if any of them wrote letters about Ida B. Wells or some sort of radical political anything, it's not discussed. And it's meant to convey like there is no political struggle, there is nothing. It's Reconstruction, and everything's headed to a brave new day as long as you can read and get an education.
So I actually backpedal now. So EYL, they are impacting people engaged in the world of make believe. Like they're gonna hurt some people, but they're going to exploit poor people in Africa, but they're not going to hurt as many poor working class people here. They're going to hurt the grifters. So they self-contained. Obama, on the other hand, is a international symbol with larger reach, a war criminal who's now coming back in to use black people as cannon fodder by being in these black rooms with the smoke and the jump shot and all that other stuff. So,
but just quickly, EYL do hurt people that are not grifters, even in conveying at a lower level what I think Obama's really doing in performing the meta deception, the grand deception that you need to believe in, so that when EYL steps in and says you can financially literacy yourself into a balloon over Morocco, you'll believe it.
Yeah, but they're two different cogs in the same machine. And I think that if the EYL members were given the same capacity and latitudes that Obama had, they would carry out the same actions. So we're just talking about a difference in capacity, not in intentions or values.
One more paycheck and they would drop drones from that balloon as they flew over Morocco.
Exactly. If given the authority.
If given the authority and
that's
they would,
and if Obama didn't win, if he got beat out by McCain, he'd be here in Chicago doing little nickel and dime 2-bit hustles still. Maybe
he'd have been in the balloon commercial.
Right. So he would have So if McCain had beat him in 2008, he would be at InvestFest in
with the Pritzkers talking about how he built up Chicago.
He'd be right there at InvestFest, but he leveled up.
So
and that's a perfect way to wrap. That's it.
What do y'all? No, really quickly. I know they ain't get nothing, but what do y'all say for the podcasters? So
InvestFest win. They edged them out
by a narrow margin.
Hey,
it look like.
But now we have to take it to the Electoral College with the three of us.
Oh wow!
So we can still push Obama over the top.
What do they call it? The super elect? What is the?
No, we the elected officials. We voted for our constituents.
No, what do they call it in the primaries? The super delegate.
No.
All right. Well, congratulations.
We at the community level.
The people have spoken. Super delegate. That's what I was trying to think.
Nah. We at the community level, man. We are. We city council. We city council, man.
We could override that and push Obama across.
Nah, I'm voting on my constituents.
Well, thank you all for participating in the poll. And
phrasing.
Okay, that's how you know it's time to shut it down. Wrap it up.
It is time to shut it down.
It's time to put the thing on the thing. Let me see. All right, y'all. Till next Sunday, man. Y'all have a good week.
I was trying to find a mattress thing. Never mind. I'll find it.
All right. Till next week, y'all.
All right. Peace, everybody.
All right, peace.
Oh, I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised. Y'all been in church 2 hours and you're expecting to see heaven out here, and there ain't no heaven. You're still right here on the black man's truth. No, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. You've been down on your knees the last 2 hours, haven't you? Begging some God to help you in the hereafter. But the hereafter is right now, brother. The hereafter is here and now.
We a series of amendments and leather African pendants, handguns and incense. Liberation's expensive. Earned by studying love, books and bloods, the crooks and thugs, the capitalist loves. They the enemies of the people because the words written replace where the innocence was. Searching for knowledge to escape what ignorance does. So we earn liberation by rejecting what was.
You got to earn your liberation.